Well, hey there, everyone, and welcome to today's VIP Trade Room with Roger Scott and Matt Horton. Now, my name is Raleigh White, and as you can see, I'm coming to you live from Austin, Texas, and I'm going to be your moderator today. Now, in today's session, Roger's going to be covering some pretty important topics. As a matter of fact, if we think about everything that we covered this week, it all sort of culminates with his focus today, which is going to be the five biggest mistakes that traders make that jeopardizes their trading. He's going to share how to avoid falling into these traps and why. This will make you a more confident and consistent trader. And I think, once again, given what we've seen in the markets, and by Roger's own admission, he's saying this is some of the toughest trading conditions that he's seen in the past decade or more. It's important that we have a right mental and psychological approach to the markets. Now, if you've got any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window and we'll address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with Roger's presentation. Now, for those of you that were with us at the 8 o'clock session this morning with Roger, you'll note the following things. Overall, as we were looking at the pre-markets, things were just kind of randomly moving higher and sideways, and there was continued to be no directional bias in the market and a lot of chop. And it kind of made sense because it just felt like everybody was waiting to see what Jerome Powell was going to be saying at 10 a.m. today at the Jackson Hole Symposium. So that kind of wait and see mode. When we looked at gold, it was basically moving sideways. Crude was moving a little bit higher in the range, but nothing to write home about. Bonds were kind of ticking up a little bit higher in their range. The US dollar wasn't doing much whatsoever, and it was just pretty so-so. And from Roger's perspective, there was nothing there that was really giving the stock market any real impetus, at least coming into the open. And these choppy market conditions were causing a heightened sector rotation. As a matter of fact, as Roger pointed out, we have seen a complete sector rotation in 7 days, as the blue chip defensive sectors have completely overtaken the speculative technology sectors. And obviously, those speculative sectors are rate and interest sensitive. And once again, that's where they are. It'd be interesting to see if we're going to see another rotation as a result of how the market's responding to what Jerome Powell said, where it seems to believe that there will be a rate cut coming in September. Now, as far as the catalysts for today are concerned, and you know what those catalysts are, things that we basically know or believe we're going to know in the markets, before the markets have ever reacted to it. And number one today was Chairman Powell speaking at Jackson Hole, which was at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And from his statements, okay, it does appear that the chances of a rate cut are looking pretty good for September, and the market's responding. The sectors that Roger was focused on, infotech, we saw, with a particular view on Zoom, Intuit, and Workday. Consumer discretionary with a focus on Ulta and BJ, and of course, chip stocks with a focus on NVIDIA. And once again, from his perspective, especially in consumer discretionary and infotech, he kind of felt that the winners and the losers were basically going to offset themselves, but those were the stocks to focus on today. Now, as far as Roger's small cap watch list is concerned, let me go ahead and copy these and put them in the room for you all to see. There you go. Okay, so once again, on those small cap stocks, we see EEIQ and pre-market. That was moving so quickly. Initially, it was above 130 or above 150. And then Roger basically said, look, I really like what this small cap is looking at, but what you need to do is you need to draw a line at what the pre-market high is. And the last time we checked that before we signed off, it was right around 150. It may have been higher, but he really liked the way that was moving. LIMN, he liked it above the 15-day EMA at about 460. AZTR above 170, and EDUC above the 200 EMA at about 150. Now, the key thing that Roger stressed here, and we always like to stress, is that the key here is price action and volume on these small stocks. And they are not market dependent. We spend so much time talking about the macro, the bigger picture things that are going on as it relates to the big stocks, but the small stocks, once again, they are driven by individual retailers like us, not big institutions. So we don't pay attention to that as much. And the other thing is this, guys, always remember, we're looking at the small cap stocks pre-market, okay? Do not trade these pre-market. Wait for the market to open, and if they hit those levels, that's when you may want to consider jumping in. Now, as far as Roger's daily stock watch list is concerned, I'm going to go ahead and copy and post this for everyone to see as well. And when you take a look at that, once again, a fair amount there on the shorts. But the one thing that Roger said, because we went through, he went through each one of these tickers and he showed you where they are. And then he said, but you know what, guys? I'm not really shorting anything these days. I don't really like these shorts. It's just a feeling and a vibe that he's got. But technically, we were seeing some breakdown on these stocks, so pay attention to that. On the longs, however, he really liked IWM, kind of like the small stock there, and NOC. As a matter of fact, in the case of NOC, he says this is a textbook A+ setup and something to pay attention to. And you see the other ones that were there. And obviously, from that perspective, the thing that's important is always wait for the market to open, always make sure that you're getting a clear breakout or a breakdown signal before taking any action. So that's essentially what Roger covered this morning. And the agenda for day is, I think this is a wonderful way to end this week, going into the weekend as we prepare for next week. And that is, Roger's going to share with us the 5 biggest mistakes that traders make that jeopardize their trading. He's going to share with us how to avoid falling into those traps and why avoiding those traps will make you a more confident and consistent trader. And I'm all for that. So, with that, folks, that basically concludes my little introductory summary. Matt, it's wonderful to see you, buddy. We've been concerned about you, but you're looking good.
Thank you.
None the worse
It's
for
it's
wear.
I've been in the background for a couple days, but I'm good enough to be
Okay.
on camera today. So it's nice
All
to be
right.
back.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you got a bunch of fans here,
Oh,
and they're delighted to have you back. And Roger, always great to see you, my man. We're
thank you,
ready.
sir.
We're ready. It was kind of interesting coming in. So Jerome spoke, and tell us what happened.
That's a good question. Jerome spoke, and I think we need an interpreter to find out what he was saying. He was dovish. He was clearly dovish. There's no question about him being dovish. Okay.
Yes.
Let me just check one thing here. I want to make sure everything went out.
Love your t-shirt. Love your t-shirt. Look at
Thank you.
that.
Hey, I
Look.
occasion the right occasion for the day. One sec.
Anything we can do to influence the markets, man.
Let me repost the link to the VIP room here. I mean, to the VIP room. I want to make sure they went out. All right, here we go. One second. Let me just forward this to this channel. And let me forward this to this channel. All right, there we go. All right, sorry about that. I hope everybody's doing great today. It's been a very interesting morning, to say the least. I didn't get into the weeds of what he was saying. I mean, to me, I can imitate Jerome Powell really, really well, and I'm not going to do that because it's just too funny. Because I won't be able to get my thing up, I won't be able to get back into my regular thing. I'll be playing Jerome Powell the whole afternoon. But basically, he said a bunch of mumbo jumbo, and the big point of what he said was that they don't know. They honestly don't know. The market, on the other hand, the market is 100% confident that they're going to be lowering rates. That's just, I mean, I'm going to read real quickly. I'm going to read. Matt posted it here, so I'm just going to read it. I mean, just so you could see how new framework emphasizes commitment to act forcefully to ensure longer-term inflation expectations remain well anchored. Fed still believes may not need to tighten policy solely based on uncertainties, estimates that employment may be beyond its maximal sustainable levels. So to me, Traders are still betting 3 interest rate cuts this year. That's what the number is. That's what it's being priced in right now. Me personally, I'm okay. Here's what I think. Okay, and I'm going to tell you guys really what I think, and I always do, but I'm going to tell you what I think. Okay, now a lot of folks are going to think right now or assume that I have inside information because I know some people who may work at the White. I really do not. I do not. I am completely speculating on what I'm going to tell you right now. But I believe, and please don't get, folks, do not get political on me because this is 1000% financial, okay? I believe that our president and the people who work in the White House, they recognize and they realize that tariffs are going to hit the fan one of these days. It's going to happen. It's going to happen either maybe in 3 weeks, in a month and a half, but there's going to be a slowdown, a major slowdown. And what I think they're trying to do is they're trying to, they're not saying that, but I think they know that. And I think what they're trying to do is I think they're trying to get Powell to lower rates before that happens, to have that security blanket. You know what I mean? To have that net.
Right.
And Powell, and because you see, if Powell does it after, if Powell doesn't do anything, and if shit hits the fan, excuse my French, you can't blame Powell on it because Powell will be like, I told you so. You're going to have to blame Trump. And Trump does not like that. He doesn't want to take the pressure of that. So he wants to do anything possible to lower rates to give us a cushion in anticipation of this tariff stuff hitting the fan. Okay. Now, this is not political. This is financial. Okay. This is not, I can't say one is right, one is wrong. There's no right and wrong here. It's just how things, it's just besides buying bonds himself. Yeah. So I think it's, this is my theory. This is my theory. Now, I've been doing this for a very, very long time. Now, here's the point. Here's the bigger point. Whether I'm right or wrong will make 1000% no difference in my analysis of the market. You understand? So all this is just talk. I'm still going to be looking at price action, you know, just like we were looking at price action right before the election. And I was saying, telling everybody, Trump is winning right now. I mean, whether you like it or not, he's winning. It's right here. And I'm telling you what I'm seeing right now. So I think there's there's this thing right now between the White House is under pressure to do this preemptively. Because think about it, the market's making new highs right now. What the hell? I mean, Trump can just say, look, the stock market's making all-time highs under my administration. And that's all he has to say, right? And pat himself on the back. But it's not that simple. So what he wants to do is he wants to pressure Powell to lower rates. So it comes from Powell. And then if Powell lower rates and things hit the fan, he's going to say, oh, look, he out. I think that's the biggest pressure. And Powell is being smart. Powell is saying, I don't want to be responsible for that. I don't want someone to put me in the corner. So I think that's what this whole thing is about. But ultimately, I think they're going to be lowering rates in September. And I think they're going to be, I think it's time for them to do at least one, maybe two, but three. I think that's way too aggressive right now with this economy. I really think it's just way, way, way too aggressive with this economy. And folks, please, this is not about whether you like Trump, whether you like Powell. This is about making money. Okay, this is about making money. Okay, that's all. That's all. That's all this is. Okay, so ultimately we got to make sure that we don't get that the Fed doesn't get egg all over their face for the third time, because I mean they got their eggs all over their face during COVID because they didn't respond fast enough in the beginning, then they responded too much in the end, and it just created this big gap. All right, let me share my screen. First of all, let me say hello to everybody. Kate, Julio, Jill, James, Robert, Claude. Hey, Claude. Ken, Tinia, Cyrus, Deanna, Rock O'Neill. How are you? Jill, Steve, Jason, Stacy, Jason, Steph, Gus. Steve, how are you? Stefan. Oh, and Trump is speaking now. Oy vey. Don. Oh, yeah, it's Murray's birthday. That's right. Murray, happy birthday.
Yeah,
Gotta
happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Murray. He was at my house yesterday, actually. I was just chatting with him on the internet. If there's a Cyrus, Bob, John, Stacy, Steve, Eduardo, Arturo, Murray, happiest of birthdays. Bill, Mary, Mary, Bugs. Hey, Bugs, Rickster, Pete, Omar, Adam. Adam had a nice morning today. Bless you, Matt.
Thank you.
Cyrus, Stacy, Ken, Carlos, Stacy, Omar, good for you. Greg, John, Boyd. Hey, Boyd, how are you? I haven't seen you here in a while. Bill, um, Ken, Jack, Solaire, Stacy, Christopher, Stephen, Jack, Michael, and I'm just skipping, folks. If I'm missing your name, I apologize.
Yeah,
Jim,
we
Ken.
have like 430 people
Yeah,
here.
we got a lot of people here. Hefe, how are you? Hefe, how are you? Ken, again, I'm just trying to kind of scroll, folks. I am not unintentionally missing out. I'm literally just scrolling. Phil, Stacy, Moondog, uh, uh, on yacht, Lee, Cyrus, Mike, Shannon, uh, Catherine, Joe, DJ, Jacques, Barry, Jean, Murray. There he is. Murray, the happiest of birthdays to you. And by the way, folks, Murray is Murray knows how to make ahi tuna. He's got the recipe down like there's no tomorrow. I mean, he's got the recipe down. Matt, you should have had that steak and the tuna that Murray made. Oh my, it was amazing. You missed out. You missed out. Okay, let me just turn on YouTube, make sure it's on. Say hello to the few people that are there, and we will get going right now. It's actually a perfect time to get going. I got a special class for you guys today. Richard, Ezra, Kevin, Steve, Julio, Julian, sorry, Steve, Raj, Catherine, Sifazio, Richard, Day Trading 101, Maggie, Liberty, Edward, James, Jonathan. Hello, everybody. All right, all right. Matt, how are we doing on the day trading this morning? I really haven't been paying all that much attention because of Powell, but let us know, how are we doing?
One loser, and we're in a trade right now. We're down about 15 cents.
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing really going on. Let me just open the door real quick so it doesn't get too hot in here, and then we will start. I gotta say, some weeks, like last week, Friday, I was pumped up, really pumped up. Today, I'm tired. I'm really, really tired. It's been a long week. Okay, so first things first, let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. We got this. We got this. So just to show you, for the most part, I mean, and the market is really, really bullish. Oh my, there you go, Murray. Thank you. Folks, write down what Murray just wrote. It is gold. It is gold. I'm
Oh
telling
my
you, I
gosh,
am
no
really
kidding.
finicky. I'm very finicky on my ahi tuna. And I was like, I don't know if this is going to be good. I tried it. I was like, this is amazing. Okay. So back to the S&P. Most of the bullishness came right here. Basically, the first this wasn't it. This is just the preemptive, but it came out here. But this is definitely bullish news. And if you look at the SPY right now, by the way, this goes back to what we were saying all week. Let me just get my other chart here. There it is. Remember I said the SPY likes to key off the 15-day EMA? Do you remember we were just talking about it earlier this week, Raleigh, how the 15-day
Yes,
EMA?
absolutely.
15-day EMA, 15-day EMA, 15-day EMA, 15-day EMA, and one day, and look, it still touched the 15-day EMA. It still didn't trade completely below. It didn't have a hard close below, and it stayed in this area right here. And now we're well above the 8-day EMA. And if you guys remember, I told you that this is the breakout level this morning, 639. Well, we went well above 639. We're now near all-time high levels once again. So we have to redraw this. But this worked really well while we were in range, okay? Folks, you will not regret it. Copy that from Murray. It is amazing. I'm from LA. We have the best ahi tuna in LA, and that thing is amazing. So as far as, and you could see here on the QQQ, We're now at the 8-day or near the 8. We're right at the 8-day. I'm going to just erase this VWAP here. Okay. We're now right at this level. And if you look at IWM, which I told you this morning I really, really loved, remember this morning? It was on my watch list. Brian, send me an email, roger@rogerscott.com, and I'll gladly answer your question, okay? So right here, do you see this? The first thing on my watch list this morning, IWM, right there. Right there. So, and I think you were there this morning, Raleigh. I think I saw your name there.
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah,
there.
IWM, and I told you guys how strong it was, and I got several emails. Folks took it and they made out like bandits. And
Yeah,
again, we're now at a swing high on IWM, and interest rates we're now above this trend line. So remember this trend line I broke for you? I drew for you guys this morning. We're now above that trend line.
Yep.
So as of right now, things are looking. They can't be looking any more bullish than they are. Market internals right now, the Vold is just like, I mean, it looks like this. Looks like this right here, just straight up. And ADD is at 2271, and we're diverging a little bit between Vold and the SPY. When I say a little bit, I mean like I'm drawing straws here, very, very little. But they're kind of, and the Vold usually wins, and the Vold is making new highs right now. So I'm with the Vold. I would not be fading this move right now. Now, I don't know what Trump is supposed to say at noon. I don't even know if he's talking. I heard some people say he's talking, some people say he's not talking. Can you guys let me know if he's talking or not? Does anybody
Apparently
know?
he is, and he's talking, his focus is on militarizing Washington, D.C., of all
Okay. Oh,
things.
okay. Great. He can talk about that for the next,
Yeah,
as long as he doesn't talk about this.
unless you
I
live
don't
in
get in.
Washington.
I
Yeah.
do not get involved. I do not get involved. Now, I asked Murray, actually. Murray has a
He
lot
lives
of,
in the D.C. area. Yep.
well, he used to. He used to live in the DC area, and I was asking him about it, and I don't remember what I was there a few years ago, like 2 years ago, for a trip with my daughter, and we were going to all the museums, and we were going around Washington, and I don't remember seeing any homeless people at all. But again, I was in the middle of Washington D.C. But again, as long, folks, I'm going to tell you something. When Donald Trump doesn't get into the stock market, the last thing I'm going to do is talk about anything to do with that. Okay.
Yep.
I only care about as far as it impacts the economy. Otherwise, I don't even know where to begin. And I don't want to. So again, I like the indexes right now. By the way, I don't know if you guys have noticed this or not, but every index right now is showing an A-line setup. Have you guys noticed that above the 8-day EMA? That's an A-line setup right there. That's an A-line setup right there from a swing high. IWM, well, it was an A-line setup this morning, but now it's a breakout setup. So we go from a A-line setup to a breakout setup. I
Hmm.
like what I'm seeing right now. Now let's take a look at mags. Mags are right at the 8-day. Now, what I want to see, and by the way, remember I told you we were having a rotation into the smaller S&P 500 stocks? That's the RSP right here. That's at new highs. Mags are not. So if you were watching me in the VIP room, um, if you were watching me in the VIP room in the morning show the last week or two, you would know that we're starting to see rotation out of the mags, the Magnificent Seven, and we're starting to see a rotation back into equal weighted assets. Equal weighted assets meaning not small caps, but those are moving up too, which is fantastic. That's really, really good. That means that people really believe interest rates are about to shift. Mm. And that's the first time that's happened since I think COVID. It's been a while. It's been a while. So we're still we're still in the structure on the QQQ, but I think what will happen right now for the next few days, I think what we're going to see is we're going to see the mags possibly start coming up more here, and we're still making highs on the Volt. Send them an update, Matt, so they know that
Yeah.
there's divergence. Okay. Mags are still going higher, and now so this is important, folks. I know sometimes I talk and talk and talk, but and I try to be very relevant, but this is really relevant. As of right now, I'm not seeing that imbalance between the mags and the RSP that we had 2 weeks ago. As a matter of fact, if you really want to get down technically, we're seeing the opposite of that right now. We're seeing the RSP, and this is when the Dow stocks, the blue chips, the non-tech, the non-chips, the non-speculative stocks are rallying. Your grandma stocks, okay? That's how I don't really. So I use the word, and I'm not trying to be funny. I use the word Dow Jones and blue chips interchangeably.
Mhm.
So when I say blue chips, Dow stocks, your grandma stocks, I'm talking about the financials, the utilities, the healthcare, the Johnson and Johnsons and the Walmarts and the Bank of America. I'm not talking about the Nvidias and Bitcoin and that. Okay, so that's just how I separate things. So please don't put me in a corner. You said grandma stocks, or no, just blue chip stocks, blue chip stocks. So you could see clearly. I mean, look at the Dow Jones and look at RSP. You could see that they look exactly the same right now. So blue chips are clearly leading. But here's the interesting part, folks. Here's the interesting part. Mags are now lagging. They're now actually lagging behind.
Mhm.
They're not as interest rate sensitive as banks or small caps, or they just don't have that exposure, especially the large ones. Smaller, yes, larger don't. Nvidia doesn't, if interest rates go up half a point, Nvidia is not going to go out of business. You understand what I'm saying? Microsoft isn't going anywhere. But smaller companies that have a lot more less that have a lot less cash and have a lot more loans, like most smaller companies do, right? They're the ones that are subject to it. That's one of the reasons why you're seeing what you're seeing. So again, I just wanted you to understand that now we have the other side of the coin. We now have the larger stocks lagging behind the RSPs, the MDYs. Look at the MDYs, the mid caps, and IWM, and that's going to have to correct itself too. There's two ways that'll correct itself. This will either cool off, or QQQE, the smaller NASDAQ stocks, will break out and lift all those other stocks as well. So it's going to be a very, very interesting week next week, because we're going to have to figure out if mags are going to stay suppressed, right? If they're going to be suppressed, or hold on. My wife is home. Hold on, let me close the door real quick. Those dogs, God bless them. They don't give me a second of peace. Okay. So next week we're going to have a really interesting time in trying to figure out where the money's going to go. Are we going to see a reversal? Are we going to see this coming back in here? Are QQQEs going to break out of this box, or kind of just come back down here? Is the Dow going to come back here and bounce here and then come back up? Or is the SPY just going to continue moving higher? It's going to be a very, very interesting week, and I don't know where we are right now. I just don't know where we are right now. Okay. Speaking of which, you just reminded me that I gave that stock this morning. EEIQ. Let's just take a look at it.
The small cap?
Yeah, it went up to, we gave it at 130. It opened at 134. Yeah, so you would have gotten in somewhere around here. It went up to about 176, and then it's now cooled off. So it's kind of doing its thing. All right, let's continue. So as of right now, we still, and if you look at the sectors, this is actually a good idea to look at this. You could see right here, consumer cyclicals, basic materials, technology, real estate. This is all real interest rate sensitive. And this is not that interest rate sensitive. Communication services is down because of earnings. We had 3 stocks that had earnings on it. But generally speaking, generally speaking, you could see very, very clearly, very, very, very clearly that anything relating to interest rates is all the way on top. It'll be very interesting to see what happens next week. But as of right now, the bond market is changing its trajectory. And if you want to get a better idea of what happens next week, we'll have to see if the bond market holds above the 50-day moving average, or if the bond market drops below the 50-day moving average. If the bond market drops below the 50-day moving average, that upside rotation that I'm talking about right now, you will not see. If on the other hand, the bond market stays here and builds on this, then folks actually believe it's going to happen. And also remember, we're in August right now. There's not a lot of institutional money out there. We really haven't seen anything beyond this. I mean, look at this. We've been just grinding after this bar. Like this is where the institutions came in. This is where the algos came in. Let's see if volume is high today. Do you remember yesterday at this time, volume was like, remember Raleigh,
Yeah, it's
volume was
quite
like,
low. It was
it
about
was like
40%
12 or
low. Yeah.
it was tiny. It was tiny. Right now, volume is pretty healthy. This is healthy volume. This is definitely healthy volume. Okay. Now let me go through the stocks that are on my watch list, and then I'm going to answer the most important questions that separate beginners from professional traders, the things that cause you the most mistakes. And I'm actually going to give you this sheet. Okay. So I'm going to give you something to take home and study over the weekend. And I bet 99, if any of you think that you're not, the best thing you can do is identify where you are, where you are with that, okay? And we'll have a little discussion on this, okay? So let's start. And again, we're only going to focus on this side of the fence, okay? We want to only focus right here. And folks, if you have any questions, please feel free to post them, and Raleigh will be he'll be happy to ask me when I'm done or any of your questions. So
Yep.
seat. Not today, definitely not today.
These are the
Definitely not.
shorts, guys.
These are
the
shorts.
shorts.
These are
Yep.
shorts. Definitely not today. But this stock is definitely on my watch list, and look at what happened when it hit the 8-day EMA. It actually, if this stock, funny enough, if this stock was to trade below the VWAP today, at some point, it would actually be on my watch. It would actually be a solid hit. So keep an eye on this. This is definitely a watch list stock to the short side. Seat, Fresh Pet. Look at how the stock bounces off the 15 days. Look what happened when it tried to approach the 15-day today. Just keep your eye right here. Look at that. Right here. And look how it's coming off now. Funny enough, it's below the VWAP right now. I'm going to add this on my list here. Okay. Maybe a good short, Matt, for one of our programs. Look how it almost hit the 15. Went to the 8, couldn't bounce above it, just like right here, right? And now it's below the VWAP and it's coming back down. And I think this is going to come back down right here. Right there. If any of you want a bonus trade, here's a good one for you right here to the short side. All right. Next one, MNDY. Not today, definitely not today, not right now. We're above the VWAP, all that, but definitely something you should put on your short signal. The fact that these stocks are making swing lows and the fact that these stocks are below the 8-day EMA or below the 15 tells you how weak they are. Okay. Tells you exactly how weak they are. Volt is still going up. All right. CARR. Again, not today, but if it breaks this level right here, the 64.74 level, it's actually in a gap right here. So this is a great location for this stock. I'm going to set an alert right here. Put it for a month. There we go. See, I just created an alert right there. PayX. No, not forget this. This is already trading above the 15. Forget it. Rope. If it trades below this level right here. Oops. For 1 week, 537.89. This level right here. It's a perfect A line to the downside. And CDW. No, it's already trading above the 15. I don't want it. Okay, now let's look at our long side. Now there's a couple, sorry, there's a couple of more, folks. There's a few more. CAH. I like CAH right here below 147. I like GGAL. That actually looks pretty darn good right now. I like BBAR. And I like BJ's that had earnings today, I believe.
It
Okay.
did. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
taking it in the shorts. Yep.
Uh-huh. Oh. Are we still long, Matt?
Yep.
Okay. How you feeling on a scale of 1 to 10? Are you almost back to normal or are you still halfway there?
About a 5.
5. I could tell today you sound a lot better than you did last few days. So you're definitely on the way up. Okay, let's continue. Okay, now I'm going to give you my upside stocks, okay? ATRO. I like this ATRO. By the way, remember this stock I gave you, Futu, the other day? It's up 11, it's up $11.50 today. I missed it yesterday. We were here in class, remember, Raleigh? And
Yep.
I was like, I missed Futu. I missed Futu. I missed Futu. Well, I really did miss Futu. It's up $11 today.
I know. Hey, it
What are you gonna
happens.
do?
You were in the middle of a class. You were educating hundreds of people, Roger.
Literally, yeah. I mean,
Yes.
I missed it. What are you gonna do? Hey, at least it's not down 11 bucks, right? All right. I just saw it this morning. I was like, I missed that one. Sophie, I like this. It's a bank stock. Bank of America. I like Bank of America. Let me see something. We did a spread. We did a straddle on it this morning. And we bought the 49 call and we bought the 49 put. So this is now going for 3 cents. And this is now going for 40. We paid about this. Right now, you would be up about 5%, 4% on the trade. But that's a straddle. We just got out. I scratched it this morning after the announcement. I didn't see anything there. But some folks did take it. Okay. Did anybody take this BAC straddle this morning? Let me know. Let me know. Okay. All right. Texas Instrument. Hey, I know somebody who took a profit on Texas Instrument today, didn't we, Matt?
We did.
We did. Yeah. And I still like it. I still like it. Now that it's above the 50-day, I still like this trade. Eduardo says, yes, did good on it too. All right, so some people made money. Some people basically it was basically like a scratch or a little bit of a profit. There wasn't much there. Greg bought them separately, made $800, small order, took profit. That's what I mean. Some people made money, some people are holding it, but nobody really took a loss on that trade. Or if they did, it was like not even worth talking. Basically a scratch. Apple, I like Apple here if it closes above the 8-day EMA. If it closes above the 8-day EMA. Okay? If it closes above the 8-day EMA. Google looks beautiful here. Circle it. I may want to take it for a swing today. That looks really nice. Okay. That looks really, really nice. Really nice, right? That's a perfect A line, isn't it, Matt? Look at that. Beautiful.
Yeah.
JP Morgan. I like JP Morgan. I think we were in this stock recently, and yeah, I like JP Morgan. I do. I like this stock right now. BE, this stock BE. It's a nice looking stock. Got out of Texas Instrument, Robert says 62.9%. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. I like when a plan comes together. Newmont. Can you imagine gold is still now I'm a little concerned because if interest rates are going down, I mean, if interest rates are going down, why is Newmont Mining going up?
Going up. Yep.
Maybe because, well, you know why? Because maybe folks will want to put more, maybe folks think they'll get more money out of gold than interest rates if rates are going down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That could be it. That's the only thing I could think of because this is not physical gold. This is Newmont, but it looks beautiful right now. That's a very nice breakout right now. I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I don't think so, Chad. No, I don't think so. All right. Fast. Fast looks really fast here. And it's actually breaking out right now. So those are my stocks for today.
Hey, Roger, can I throw one at you? Because this
Please.
was
I love it
pre-market. Pre-market, you liked NOC. It was setting up
very
as
much.
an A plus.
That is an A plus setup. It's still an A plus setup. The only thing, it's not a momentum setup right now. So if I was trading this, I would still buy it. It would be fine to buy
Ooh,
actually right here. This is a good buy for it right now. But I
okay.
would want to. But this is not a day. This is not a momentum type of trade. So
Okay.
this trade is good here, very good here actually. But as long as it stays above the 8-day EMA, as long as it doesn't close below the 15.
Close
It's a
below.
good
Okay.
trade as long as it just follows the trend. I mean, to me, it looks like it just wants to kind of flop around here and just go a little higher right here, like trajectory here. Let me well, you could see it right here. I think it's just
Yep.
going to follow this path forward and just kind of stay in this range and go a little bit higher. But I do like it right here. I
Okay.
do like it right here, and volume is pretty good. Yeah, uh, folks, there's a difference between the type of stocks. Like I would not put this in the pit, but I would totally put this in true trend, right, Matt?
Yeah.
I would totally put this in true trend. If I'm looking for a stock and I'm going to hold that stock 5 days to 8 days or 10 days, I don't need a stock that's breaking out this moment. But if I'm trading something in the pit, I want something that's there right now. So this is more of an anticipatory trade. And these are more of the type of trades we do in A-line, in Stealth Surge, in True Trend. But so they're not momentum, they're anticipatory trades.
Good point.
They're not
Yep.
reactive trades, they're anticipatory trades. And anticipatory trades, they have a lower win rate, but they have a higher profit factor. And that's fine for me for swing trading. I don't have a problem with that. All right. Bug says NOC terrible option activity. I haven't looked at options. Yeah, it does suck, but it does. It doesn't look great. The options don't look great. I mean, you could make it work, but they don't look great. These are definitely not. Uh, yeah, I agree with you, Bugs. I do agree with you. They do look a little spready. What's another LMT? Let's take a look at LMT. See, LMT is not ready yet, and these options don't look much better either. But all I was saying is that I really love this chart. It's a beautiful
Yep.
chart. Look at it. I mean, come on, look at it. You could see for yourself. Look, it breaks out. It follows. I mean, let's just take a step back and like read a little price action. Okay, so the stock is just kind of compressing here. Okay, it's not doing anything. It breaks out on earnings. Okay, really nice high volume. And what does it do after it breaks out? How much does it pull back? Does it pull back 50%? No. Remember what I told you? It has to lose at least 60%. Does this lose 60%? No. Moreover, it has follow through on the second day after volume, more high volume. So this stock really wants to go up. This stock is not saying I may want to go up. This is saying I really want to go up. Then what does it do? It makes another higher. So after earnings, it goes up for 3 days. And then instead of going down, it levels out completely. And then it goes up for another ride. It comes down to the 8-day EMA. It doesn't touch the 15-day EMA not one time. And as it's coming down to touch it, it goes back and now it's back above the 8-day EMA. And it's not too standard deviated. $7.40 is the average range. We're pretty close to the 8-day EMA here. So there's absolutely no reason to. It's a great swing trading stock. It's not a day trading stock. It's a swing trading stock. Now somebody said something about Rhythm. Oh,
Yeah.
Rhythm looks. Yeah, that was the stock from this morning. That was
From
another
this morning,
stock that I
right?
really liked this morning.
Yep.
That's what I anticipate this doing. But if you look at their chart, thank you for that, Naples fan. But if you look at their chart, this is a great lesson to have, by the way. This is exactly what we should be doing here. Um, but this is exactly so. So look. Breaks out, right? Breaks out. What does it do after a breakout? Does it eat 60% of the candle?
No.
No, it doesn't even
Nope.
a third, right? Okay, and then what happens? It doesn't make a lower low, it makes a higher high. Okay, finally it sells off. It goes to the 15-day EMA. Does it break the 15-day hard? No. And then it starts moving back above the 8-day. And look, every time it hits the 15, what happens? So in this case, I really wouldn't be looking. So in this case, in this particular stock, because it hit 15, I would feel very comfortable letting it come down to the 15-day EMA. I really wouldn't. Like, if this stock started dropping all of a sudden and I was long and I didn't take my profit, I would feel very normal if it was coming down to the 15. Whereas if I saw stock and the last three times it pulled back and it only pulled back to the 8-day EMA, I would be a little more concerned. Okay? Okay. So, and folks, if you're asking questions that I'm not answering, Raleigh will ask me those questions.
Yes.
Now, the only thing with this stock here is now, remember, this morning we didn't have this bar. It's starting to get, excuse me. Oh, so sorry about that. The stock is starting to get a little deviated from the 8-day. I prefer to buy it closer to here, especially with the fact that it likes to hug the 15. It's starting to get a little too deviated for my liking. Thank you so much, everybody. But that's really where we're at. And I mean, you could see all this. You don't need me telling you this. You could see this. You could see there's hardly any overlap here. There's not a lot of wicks. Look at this stock. Compare this to something like, let's see, like this. Look at this. So look at this. What is it? What was it? It was RYTM. TM.
The rhythm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at this. Look at this stock and look at this stock. It's everywhere, nowhere, right? And now look at look at that. Predictable, clean. And same thing with this. Same thing. They look almost identical to me. This one's a little more wicky. I would, and again, notice I didn't pick this for day trading. These are, anytime I give you stocks in the morning and in the afternoon, those are swing trading picks. I look at them intraday on this, but that means I already like them here. But remember, all the stocks I give you, what do I always tell you? They're swing trading stocks. They're not day trading stocks.
Right.
For me to day trade a stock, I have to love it as a swing trading stock first. If I don't love it as a swing trading stock, I don't notice when we're doing this analysis, I'm not even looking here. I could just completely tune this out. I don't care what it's doing intraday. Only when I care about day trading do I go here. After I love it here. If I don't love it here, this does not get.
Why bother? Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Roger, time check. We're coming up on
Yes.
42 minutes since the open.
Yeah. So I gave you all my stocks. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm glad you did that because I lose track of time sometimes.
It goes fast.
It goes, I don't even know where it goes. I feel like we just said hello to everybody a minute ago. We may have to cut this into a 2-hour session. Oh my. All right. So, and folks, I'm going to give you this to take home today. Okay. Let me just save it. And this is going to be, so I figured out what happened, Raleigh. The sellout on the Trading Zone Live was for the 2-year. That's where we got confused with the hardly any spots left thing, the 2-year.
Okay.
But today is, from what I understand, today is the last day because I don't have it scheduled anymore. So this is going to be the last day because I don't have it on my calendar anymore. But let me give you so I'm going to give you the biggest reasons why traders fail. Now, folks, you probably think you're not in this group. It's everybody's in this group to a point. Okay. Everybody's in this group to a point. You don't have to write this down. And folks, if you're in the YouTube channel, start making your way into the Zoom room. Matt, can you give them a link? Actually, I'll do it right now. I have it right here.
Okay.
I'll do that. Here. Keep doing the same over and over again, expecting different results. Okay, here it is. Folks, if you are on YouTube, use this link and come into the VIP room, Zoom room. Come into the Zoom room if you're on YouTube, okay? Here is the link. I just posted it for you, okay? Please come in there. There's 90 people there. Please come into the Zoom room. So here are the reasons traders lose. Hey, Ken. The biggest reason. What's the biggest reason? Anybody want to tell me? I'm going to open my door again since everything's quiet with the dogs. All right. The biggest reason, assuming they know something that they don't. Assuming you know something that you don't. The biggest reasons why traders fail, is not, you see, when folks don't know what they're doing and they know they don't know what they're doing, they're very, very careful. But when you think you actually know what you're doing and you don't know what you're doing, oh my God. Whoo! That's called BK time. BK time. You know that time you thought you knew exactly how naked options worked and you sold a couple of naked options and then you went, "Oh shit." That's what I'm talking about. Let me do this. So, assuming they know something that they don't. That's the biggest problem with traders. Times 100, okay? What's the second biggest reason? Let's do this. The second biggest reasons why traders fail. I mean, traders fail, not why they have a loss, why they fail. Like they fail. They say, I'm not going to do this anymore. Okay. Trading individual positions instead of the program. And you know how I know when traders do that, Raleigh? I know when they do that, when I get a nasty email, and I'll get an email like once every 3 months. I took the biggest loss on this trade. You don't know anything. You don't know what you're doing. You're not a guru. You're a phony. I'm like, you took a loss. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. That's how it works. So you can't trade individual. You know that saying, you're only as good as your last win. That doesn't work in trading.
No, it doesn't.
That doesn't work in trading. That doesn't work in trading. So trading individual positions instead of the program. Oh, you took a loss here. You took a loss here. And tell me what my win rate and my profit factor is after 100 trades, not after one. Okay. So the first one was assume they know something that they don't. Do you guys realize that when I first started doing this, I asked you guys, how many of you think you have emotional issues when it comes to trading? And everybody said none. And now if I ask that question, everybody's going to say we do. You know why? Because when you don't know something, you're very dangerous to yourself. Okay? You're very dangerous to yourself. All right. What's the third biggest reasons why traders fail? Is this helpful to you guys? Is this helpful to you guys? Tell me. Let me know if this is helpful to you guys. All right. Looks like people are getting something out of this. Trading too many positions at the same time. Trading too many positions. Roger, I have 20 positions. What do I do? Dude, you're just following the market. Do you realize if you have more than X amount of positions, you're just following the market? Because one is going to lag, one is going to lead, and you're just following the market. You have no edge. You have no edge. Trading too many positions. I know a lot of traders who are very successful who still make this mistake. Trading too many positions. Trading too many positions. Okay. Let me just move this here to the side. Hey, Matt, how are we doing on the trade anyways?
We're down, but we're not really going anywhere, and the volt's still going up, so we're comfortable waiting.
Okay. I just wanted to get an update. All right, let's continue. This way I could watch the bond market, see what we're doing. Just coughing off the VWAP. Okay, what's the third biggest? It doesn't matter. I'm talking any time frame. I'm not talking day trading one index. I'm talking about trading. Omar says, I'm making this mistake. Now, Omar made over $500,000 this year trading, and he's admitting to it. I'm not going to give any answers today. Today's not a day for answers. To Monday, we will talk answers. Today, we deal with the issues. On Monday, we come back. Trading too many positions at the same time. How many times? Let me ask you guys, in the pit, how many positions do we usually have at a time? One or zero? One or zero usually, unless it's a bonus trade. Usually one. One. You don't need more. You don't need more, especially if you're a beginner. Right? Okay, what's the next one? And this is a big one. And this one, and this goes now, Raleigh, this error is a perfect example of the rule number one. Assume they know something that they don't. So here's a perfect example of it. Trading correlated positions without knowing it. I would say that 99.9% of you do this, either intentionally or unintentionally. We're not there yet, Tammy. The night is still young, Tammy. The night is still young. Trading too many correlated positions. Let me give you an example for all of you who think you know everything. Do you think that NVIDIA is correlated to QQQ? You know what that means? That means if you trade QQQ, 80% of the stocks in the QQQ, you're too correlated with NVIDIA. How many of you have made that mistake? Every one of you. Times 100. Do you ever see me doing that in the pit? If you guys want to know how I operate, me personally, the pit is your best friend, right? Because that's how I operate. That's just me being myself, right? One position at a time, maybe a straddle or strangle with a directional position. You're too correlated. You don't even understand how correlated. When I start showing you correlation matrix, you're gonna poop yourself when you see how correlated you are. You don't even understand. And that goes back to number one, assuming they know something that they don't. Okay? So you guys are so overcorrelated, I don't even know how to tell you. Almost every one of you, whether you know it or not, is overcorrelated. Well, Roger, but you gave this stock in this program and that program, and doesn't mean you have to blindly follow them. Just because I have Applied Material or because I have Caterpillar in one program and another industrial stock or a basic material stock, you're going to be screwed. So you're way overcorrelated. I look at Omar's account. I look at Richard's account. They're still overcorrelated, and they're professional traders. They're still overcorrelated. You guys, it's very easy to get overcorrelated. Most stocks have a correlation of 0.66. Okay. All right. Another big one, like a huge one, like a red flag. I promised to give you 5, but I'm going to give you 10 today because I'm a nice guy. Switching systems or strategies at first sign of failure. Oh, if I had $1, man, if I had $1 for every time somebody did this. Folks, every strategy, every system is going to have a drawdown. What you need to see if whether the strategy or the system is working characteristically or uncharacteristically. You understand? You all are guilty of this. I know that by looking at your exchanges that you have at the pub. Something doesn't work out for you, it doesn't work that way. You're projecting what something is going to be like. It's like buying a book and feeling good about reading it. You haven't read it yet. Don't do that. Stop switching systems. Find a strategy that works and stick to it. And if you stop using it, at least you have a really good reason for using it, not because you had a loser. It doesn't work that way. Trading does not work that way. That goes back to number one. The best traders I know, they stick to the same strategies over and over and over again. How many times have you seen me switch my strategies? Do you remember the boot camp from 8 years ago? If you think I'm doing something different from then, I'm not. I'm just giving you more context. Okay? This is the most important one, changing strategies all the time. You will never ever be a successful trader by switching strategies. You know why you're switching strategies? Because you don't want to switch your mindset. It's easier to switch strategies than to switch mindsets. Some people switch brokers all the time. Some people just give excuses to themselves. All you're doing is just not wanting to confront yourself. You know, trading is like looking at yourself in the mirror. You do realize that, right? You just don't want to confront yourself. I get it. Nobody wants to confront themselves. It's not easy. Stop switching strategies. The pit hasn't had a loser. We took a loser today, Roblox, first loser since Lulu. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. You know why? Because when a system is taking losers, after that it takes winners. You're constantly switching and going into other strategies looking for that run. You want to get into a system after a drawdown. You know, when Curtis and I had a partner, Curtis Faith. Do you know when he and I started our fund? When 9 hedge funds that traded the way we did had a huge drawdown of 40%. You're starting out at an advantage if you're starting at a drawdown. I will, Michael, when it's time. I will. What's number 6? Let me see if I can. Is this helpful to you guys?
Absolutely.
All right. Are you identifying with yourself here a little bit? Is anybody identifying with themselves? Or are you saying, no, this never happens. I know better. I had a guy emailing me a few weeks ago. He's telling me that he knows better than I do because he was he was in the Army and he flew jets. What does being in the Army and flying jets have to do with trading? Nothing. So don't think you know something when you really don't. Okay. Not seeing the bigger picture. Oh, we all know that. And one of the things that I'm really good at, I'm going to give myself credit, is showing you the bigger picture. A lot of you are like, you know, those horses that have those things on their sides. I'm giving you the real big stuff, not the obvious stuff. Blinders, yes, blinders, exactly. You don't want to do that. You don't want to have blinders on your eye. Okay. You don't want to have blinders on your eye. Folks, the bigger picture will save you from so much garbage. Thank you, Omar. The bigger picture will save you from so much garbage. You don't even know. Oh, Mia decided she wants to leave. Look at that. She's gone. All right. Let's continue. Here's another one. Unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic expectations. Just because you see an email with Omar who made $500,000, that may not be your path. I've known guys. I know this one guy. He's a professional trader. He is probably the second or third best trader I know. He trades 2,000 position size for every position. That's it. He doesn't want to go high. And I'm not talking about Richard. $2,000 per position size. Every position size is 2K. He can afford 1,000 times more than that. He's like, I just don't want to do it. I'm doing it for fun now. I'm just having fun all day long. I do what I want to do. So don't think you have to have. You will make $1 million your first year of trading. You may or you may not. Probably not. It probably will take you some time. It'll take you a lot less time if you follow these rules. That I could tell you right now. Okay. All right. Favoring one position over another. Favoring one position over another. Now, I know you guys are all guilty of this. You know how I know this? Because when I post Amazon in the Pit channel, I'm going to get like 15 or 25 thumbs up. If I post, I don't know, BE, I'll get like 5. Okay? The answers come next week, Rickster. The solutions come next week. If you don't know what the problem is, it's no reason to get into solutions first. Let's get into the problems. Okay? Favoring one position or Roger, I lost so much money on this position. Well, why would you lose any more on this position than any other position unless you didn't follow that rule? You must have favored that position over another. Have any of you done this? Because you like a stock or you perceive a stock, because you like Elon Musk or you like Tesla or any of these things, right? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? You guys know exactly what I'm talking about here.
You bet.
Everyone's done. I know it happens all the time. If I give you a Microsoft, 9 out of 10 will take it. If I give you BE, only half of you will take it. stocks don't know which one is going to make money. We don't know which one is going to make money. Double down, huh? Oh boy. Okay, let's go to the next one. Not having a trading plan. And I talk about this all the time. You get into this racket. Why? Because there's no rules. There's no boss. You could do whatever you want. Number 6 was not seeing the bigger picture. And I'm going to give this to you in a minute. You'll get this. You'll get this in a minute. Literally, we're going to be finishing right now. Not having a trading plan. Not having a trading plan. Steve says, I can't afford to take all the trades. Of course you can if you take them with debit spreads. Sure you can. And number 10, averaging down positions. Don't ever, ever average down positions. Look. Let me show you something. Look. Paul. Why can't my thing type? What's going on here? Oh, here we go. Here. Losers, average losers. Look at this picture. This is his office. How important, he's a billionaire. He's in the Market Wizards book, right next to Tony Saliba, by the way. Losers, average losers. For him to put this right here, how important do you think it would have to be? Now, this
Number
is
one for him, yeah.
It's right on his board, man. It's right on his board. For him to put it up here, it probably is pretty important. Now, remember I taught you this rule, assume they know something that they don't? You know what losers do? They assume that the next time they average in, that's going to be the low. Do you remember that day, Raleigh, when I said the volt is breaking down, don't go long?
Don't go long, yeah.
Well, 2 of my clients thought they knew better, and they lost half of their account. But what if I just average down? No, losers, average losers. Have you ever seen me average down a trade? Okay, so before we begin our last class on Trading Zone, by the way, I'm doing this in memory of us reaching over 1,000 people. 1,000 people, the fastest 1,000 people. So I'm going to give you this. I'll give you this right now. And Monday, it means buying as it's going against you. It would be very easy for Matt to average this. Do you know that if Matt averaged his losers, he would be right 90% of the time? But that 10%, the 10% that he would wrong would be chaos.
Crush us.
It would crush us. All right, so here's this. And let me give it to you folks on YouTube, okay? Here it is. Enjoy yourself. Now, I'm going to give you the last class on this topic that I'm going to have. I hope you guys pay close attention. And let me just unshare my screen and then share it again. Please don't go anywhere. This is going to be the last time. And I know I keep saying that like a broken record, but I know that because I actually checked my schedule. They're doing this because people really want to get into this program. So it's a really hot program. And this is as of last week. This week has been just a bunch of nonsense chop. We've been I think, Matt, how many trades have we taken this week? 3 total? 4?
I've taken 3, and I think you took 1 while I was out.
Yeah, to just show you an example, usually we take 3 to 5 trades per day. This week we've been taking like 1 or 2 and then sometimes none. Point is, this is just not a great week for trading for anything. Folks, if you are in the YouTube channel, please make your way into the Zoom room, okay? I'm going to give you the link one more time. Raleigh, give them maybe a few more minutes and then cut it off, okay?
Sounds good.
Folks, if you're in YouTube, please come into the Zoom room. If you're in the Zoom room, there's nothing for you to do. Murray says, I downplayed how cool Clyde was. Well, there you go. And Murray, I want to wish you the happiest of birthdays. You're really a really nice human being, and I'm very glad that you're part of my life and Clyde's life. All right. So folks, let's begin. This is going to be the last time. There is no more after this. This is it. We're doing this in celebration of reaching our 1,000 member. We are now at 1,005 or 1,000. Here, let me see how many we have. 1,007. We're now at 1,007.
1007. Yep.
1,007. So, folks, thank you for making this happen. It's been amazing. You guys have been great. And let me give you this class. This is going to be it. This is going to be the last day we offered the discount. So please take advantage of it if you haven't. I'm not even going to try to sell you this. Zoom user said there was a day when a famous guru lost 330K in one trade in front of everybody, averaging down an oil future trader.
That was Rob Hoffman.
Yes, Rob. You said it. You said it. Rob Hoffman. Yes, Rob Hoffman. Folks, I don't know a lot about the markets, but let's just say that Rob Hoffman doesn't do live trading anymore. He now runs a marketing firm. Okay, Wealth 365. But yes, it was Rob Hoffman. I'm surprised.
I was watching it.
Oh, you were there.
Oh my gosh, yes, I was. I was in the room, and he just.
Ouch.
But that's what he did. He averaged all the time.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's
So
how he.
with a
Well,
single contract and go to 2 contracts and go to 5 contracts to 6.
Yes.
Expecting a turnaround. Yep.
If I average down, I would have a 100% win rate in the pit, not a 94.4% win rate in the pit. Let me ask you, was it real money?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. That was a live trading account.
Oh my God. Well, folks, there you have it. Don't be like Rob Hoffman. I didn't know that. I did not know that, Raleigh. I swear to you, I did not know it was 300. I heard the story, but I didn't know it was oil. I thought it was S&P, and I had no idea it was that amount of money. And I thought it was during a trading a trading championship. Am I in the right ballpark or no?
Yes.
So
he was live trading against another individual there, in the room. And once again, that was his technique, and crude just kept on dumping.
Wow. Well, folks, it didn't happen here because you would never see it happen here because I don't average down. Matt does not average down. We don't average down because losers average down. And remember something about what I always taught you, Murphy's Law. Look where it hit Rob Hoffman when he was, and he's a great guy, by the way. I like Rob. We know him well.
He's a wonderful guy.
He's a funny guy. Yeah, he used to be a police officer. Funny enough, great guy. I didn't know that happened. I had no idea. Mm-hmm. Oh my. Well, there you have it. Folks, the profits and performance are not typical. You're not going to experience a $330,000 drawdown here unless someone takes over and possesses me or something like that. We don't do that here at all. Never. Thank you, Raleigh, for that. I did not know that. I really did not know the whole story.
And some people are asking, how did he do it? I mean, he was very professional about it, but he reached a point where it closed him out. It took him out of the trade. I mean, his account could not sustain it anymore. So the broker basically took him out.
Wow.
At that point. And he was, once again, he was very composed throughout the whole process. But I mean, it was like the shot heard around the world. But that was his technique and his strategy for how he traded the market. And the only complaint people would have is, well, to do that, you got to have a lot of size. You got to have a pretty damn big account.
Honestly, even if you have a big account, Murphy's Law never fails when it comes to the market. Murphy's Law always, look what Jonathan wrote. I lost 1 full year profit and averaging down in 1 day. It'll never do it again. Sorry, I'm going to repost this for people here because it's very valuable. Folks, look, I'm going to tell you something about me. You'll never read that about me. You know why? Because I don't average down. I only average up. Okay? And you guys know that. I don't have to prove that to you. Don't do it. All right. Great lesson. Averaging down means, so you buy something at 10, it goes to 8, you buy it at 8, and then you buy it at 5.
And your break even keeps on moving down, lower. And,
yeah.
You're trading futures like crude.
Yeah. Oh, God. That's dangerous. Those things move. All right. Well, I thought this was just a great lesson. Okay. And now you guys understand the dangers of not listening to me. So remember, I posted these for you, and on Monday we're going to go over them again, and I'm going to show you and teach you techniques to help you avoid those 10 mistakes. Okay. Awesome. And I think me just telling you them and throwing them out there is not good, but I think me giving you the answers to them would be really good. Folks, profits, performance, everything we're going to show you actually happened. We don't paper trade before we launch anything. We don't do that. We actually trade and we put it in a real program. In this case, we launched this program earlier. We put all the trades for free in the pit, got all the people excited about it, and then after they made money with it, then we launched it. You see, like a responsible person would do. And we have a roughly 70% win rate on close to 200 trades now. That does not count this week. That's as of last week because they didn't update these slides. Our average return is really good, and we've been responsible. We've Matt will never average down. Matt does not. I've never seen Matt average down. I've never averaged down. Don't average down. All right. So, folks, everything here is real. Everything here actually happened. And if you have any questions, I will explain to them. The key is to give you an edge. Remember, one of the rules was don't trade individual trades, trade the system. Trade the system. No, you could still join, Jordan. Raleigh will post the link for you privately right now. You could still join, but this is the last day. This is the last day, and they wanted me to do this today in celebration of the anniversary. The fact that we got 1,000 people in the shortest amount of time we ever had. It took me twice as long to get 1,000 people in the pit. It took me 8 months. Here we did it in 4 months. Folks, there will be losers. Losers are part of the package. If you have a problem with losers, if you don't want to get into this business because you want to avoid losers, if you're watching me because you want to avoid losers, none of that is going to happen. You need to embrace these losers. You need to wait for them to happen because that's how trading works. Winners and losers, they always work together, okay? My name is Roger Scott. While most traders are glued to tariff headlines, inflation data, the Fed's next move, I got to say, I'm pretty glued to it as well. I've been quietly polishing up a strategy that helps you out in any market conditions with zero delay. And by tracking every last penny, we've been able to front run some of the biggest market movers in a matter of minutes. For example, Tuesday, April 29th, SPY started selling off fast around 12:40 in the afternoon. At 1:05 in the afternoon, I picked up that 21 million bullish transactions were about to take place. And we needed to make sure we knew what we were doing. We placed a trade right here at this level. By the way, every trade, every chart we show you, these trades actually happened with a timestamp. So what you're seeing is not some hypothetical mumbo jumbo. Okay, you're not seeing any nonsense. We send out an alert at 1:05 p.m. As expected, the SPY started surging higher, 76% in 33 minutes. Again, the very next day, SPY dropped at 1 p.m. At 1:17, we saw a bullish transaction taking place. We sent out an alert to go long the SPY. We give you the strike price. This is the strike price. Long means buy. There's only 2 rules to follow. You don't have to have too many rules here. They're very, very quick and punchy. Sure enough, over the next 18 minutes, the SPY shot up like a rocket ship. 58% gain in 18 minutes. And again, later that afternoon, SPY was trading water heading into the close at 2:48. 9.1 million bullish transactions hit the tape. We sent out an alert. Hey, Matt and Raleigh, can you remind me to add one more rule to that sheet I just remembered?
Yes.
Avoid initiating positions the first half hour of the day.
Yep.
Thank you. I need to add it to that sheet, okay? Make a note for me. Thank you. Anyone could have placed a quick trade when they felt in their pocket. Made out like a bandit on that one too. 74% gain in 59 minutes. And this is not a theory. This isn't something that, we bought here. No. We've been sending these out to over 1,000 people. That's right. Trading Zone Live. When I say we've been on fire, we've been on fire. What do people say? Carlos, I'm up 10,000 month to date. Don, $1,500 per day. Jason, averaging 2,500 per week. Harold, doubled my account in 3 months. 2 to 800 almost every day. Tony doubled his account. I helped him do that. I appreciate you sending me that. Dana up 427% return. Don up $10,809. Dave had a great day in April, booked $8,800 in 2 days. HG made a 93% return. Joanne made $48,000, not bad. And I know she was doing other stuff. She wasn't trading full time during this period. Esther made $78,000. Richard, I got to reach out. I haven't seen Richard. I haven't heard from Richard in the last couple of days. I think he may be traveling or doing something. Made 104,000 in 2 weeks. Bought his daughter a car. Um, and now I have to say these are some pretty fantastic results. But unlike most trading rooms, we don't do any pumping and dumping. We're not watching thousands of tickers here. I don't have any room where we watch thousands of tickers, but in the pit, we do look at a lot of stocks. I'm not chasing Nvidia, Apple, or Amazon here. I'm chasing it somewhere else. I do chase it all day long, just not here. We're tracking every dollar that goes in and out of the market. Here, we're just looking at the indexes, the SPY, the ETF, the one that has everything in it, and the one that has a lot of liquidity. So you'd only use market orders. You don't have to use any other orders. Now, one of the reasons we started doing this is because about a year and a half ago, Chicago Board of Option Exchange, we actually had a trade on it this week, invented a new type of option. We're now able to target double, sometimes even triple-digit gains in a matter of minutes. 31% gain in 16 minutes, 52% gain in 23 minutes, 121% gain in 32 minutes. Now, if you told me you had a way to track and trade every dollar going in and out of the SPY in real time and use that intel to target returns like 31%, 52%, 121%, I'd say you're doing really, really good. And here's the thing. We don't just get one of these opportunities per day. We're looking at 3 to 5 double and triple digit opportunities on a regular week, regular when when Matt doesn't have COVID, when Trump and Powell are not speaking every 5 minutes, a typical week when it's not the third week of August, when it's like just a nutty chop, chop, chop. That means when you're tired, whether you're retired, work full time, trading for a living, or just dabbling in the market, okay? There's always bound to be ample opportunities at your fingertips. All right. Anointing. Hoffman trade was mini Russell. All right. For example, look at what would have happened Monday, June 23rd. You could have been enjoying a walk with your dog in the morning, felt a little bzz, 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 bzz in your pocket, pushed a few buttons on the phone to set the trade, and 5 minutes later, 28% gain in just a few minutes. And then again, another buzz, 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 buzz. I want to know, how come all these people are not working? How come they don't have jobs during market hours? That's what I want to know. 23% gain in 21 minutes. And again, these two lovebirds sneaking off to the gym in the middle of the day. How dare they? 84% in 29 minutes. And again, at 348 for a nice little lottery trade, 116% gain in 10 minutes. Now, let's say someone put $2,000 into each of those trades. Altogether, that would have been a whopping $5,000 in profit. And that's after just 1 day of trading. Imagine what would have accomplished after an entire week. The pit compares SPY to stocks. In this program, we measure market internals and price action just to trade the SPY. Omar just made 3,100 on VTS. Excellent, Omar. Now, in a moment, I'll give you a chance to join us on the very next trade. That was a trade from yesterday, by the way, VTS, that it was on our watch list. One that could fire off within an hour. Plus, I'll share with you a very, very simple money flow indicator that helps us forecast the price movements on the SPY before they happen. Learn, Gigi. This is going to be very interesting, and this will answer your question. An indicator that's already hiding within your trading platform. And I'll teach it to you with no charge. So if a free bootcamp trading session sounds juicy to you, and you're ready to see how hundreds of traders have changed their financial future thanks to Trading Zone Live, go ahead and give me a yes in the chat. All right, put yes in the chat. Just put this here. And again, folks, this is going to be the last time I'm doing this, and the price is going up. Finally, this is it. There's no more. There's no more after this. Let's do this. My name is Roger Scott. I've been doing this for 31 years. Let me give you a little bit about my background. I've worked with Charles Calamirez. He's the senior professor of economics in Columbia University. I've worked with Kevin Hassett. He's the current financial advisor to President Trump's administration for the second term, and he's the #1 guy to take over Powell's job. And I hope that it doesn't happen, but it is what it is. I've worked with both of them for about 7 years, 6 years. And I've also worked with Curtis Faith, who's the youngest turtle trader. And here in the pub, I've worked with Tony Saliba, who is actually featured alongside Paul Tudor Jones in the first Market Wizard book. And working with him was a treat. T-Buzz actually introduced me to him. That was a big highlight of my life. Now, for the past 5 years, my focus has shifted. I spend time teaching other gurus. Like, for example, here's Celeste right there. Here's Kane. Murray's right there. Murray, look at you. You wearing yellow. Ken is here, post PhD in math. There's Matt uh, without COVID. There you are right there. There's Jim. And here's the staff at Wealth Press. I mean, at the pub, back then it was Wealth Press, but the pub teaching them how to trade as well. A lot of
And
people need.
you're gonna have one of these in March, right, Roger? Is that the plan? Thinking
They
about
they
March?
as from what I understand, they told me March, but it's still they haven't done
They haven't finalized it.
dates.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna insist that your brother
And Gustavo?
and Gustavo come out because we had like 70 people last time, and I think this time we're gonna have over 100. So it would be really nice to have them, and I'd love to have you there as well. But
Look at
again,
that.
that's something that
The
that's
White
something.
brothers together in one room?
Yeah, that would be
I
fun.
don't
Wouldn't
know.
it fun, guys, to and gals to have the White brothers together? I don't think I've ever seen you together in one room, actually, now
Well,
that I think about it. Yeah, I don't think it's happened yet. But anyway,
that's
that would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun. So we've created programs. I've created programs like Alpha Zone Pro, Pro Trader Dashboard, really, really cool programs that you guys can utilize. And our win rate has just been astronomical in the pit. It's just been much higher than I expected. And and no averaging down, no $300,000 drawdown. None of that crazy stuff, folks. Real trading stuff. Now, as great as those stories are, they don't even hold a candle to the discovery I'm going to share with you today. A new way to target sometimes even triple digit gains, 3 to 5 times per day. What's the secret? A specialized money flow indicator that only exists to day trade the SPY. You're not going to hear about it on Fox News or CNBC. And it doesn't work on traditional stocks like Nvidia, Tesla, Microsoft. That's not what this is about. It's not for those. It's not for those type of trades. Not for those type of trades. Although I do these type of trades in the pit all day long. I mean, when markets are active, but not in this room. This is not the room for it. And then, like most indicators, they give you a buy and sell signal based on price. This money flow indicator that we use to measure the index is very, very different. It shows us when capital is flowing in and out of the SPY. Like just now, one of the reasons why Matt did not get out of his trade was because the Vold is still making a swing high. And when the SPY diverged from it, it came right back to it. I'll show you after we're done with this class, but that's as long as the Volt goes up, there's a good chance that the market will go higher. And I'm actually giving you a real life example right now, not some hypothetical, even though we don't know how this trade is going to work out. Matt, how are we doing on the trade?
We are 10 cents down.
There we go. And that's important because not 300,000, just 10 cents. Okay. I can't believe that actually happened, Raleigh, because it means we can use it to help predict where the SPY is heading next before the price makes a move. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but check out what would have happened on Tuesday, June 24th, 2025, beginning of summer. This is a 1 minute chart of the SPY. It opened higher in the morning, and then it began quietly selling off. Most traders probably expected more downside pressure, but I knew that the bottom was in and the SPY was likely to be forced to go back up. Very, very, very important. And that's because the money flow indicator flipped bullish at 10:15 in the morning. So we send out an alert, and yes, there's your strike price right there if you're trading option. You buy a call, long means buy a call. 604 is your strike price, or 604.50, whichever you prefer. And it's over the next 32 minutes, the SPY took off like a rocket ship. And some of you guys made out like a bandit. And folks, it gets even better because that wasn't the only opportunity that would have paid out big on June 24th. There was another entry on 2 hours later. Again, the same setup. And SPY was drifting lower later that afternoon. At 125, the money flow indicator flipped bullish. right there. You could see it. Anyone could have placed a quick trade as soon as the alert went out and bought the exact bottom on that one too. 76% gain in 39 minutes. Sorry about that. Now, in a moment, I'm just looking at market internals as we speak. Now, in a moment, I'll reveal everything behind the money flow indicator, including how to trade it. But first, let me just say this. If you've ever struggled with the market, Chris just said 25% on the SPY in 25 minutes on AZP. There you go. Excellent, Chris. Excellent. Post that. If you've ever struggled, feel like you're constantly taking one step forward, two steps back, it's not your fault, okay? I've spent a lot of time doing this and I've trained a lot of people. And unfortunately or fortunately, people are extremely predictable. Extremely predictable. They keep making the exact same mistakes at the exact same time, which is why it's so easy for algos to outperform most retail traders, because they know exactly what retail traders are going to do. And they're going to be right 100% of the time. I found that simple people fail for one reason. They look at price action and they ignore all other things. And I'm being specific here. I'm talking about trading the SPY, not just trading the markets. And that's a real problem because the money flow is what drives price. Price doesn't move on its own. It moves when buying and selling pressure shifts. When more demand is building up on one side of the market, it creates an imbalance that starts to build under the surface. And that's what ultimately pushes price in the next direction. What you need is a way to track the undercover buying and selling pressure in real time. That way you can get in while the smart money is building their position before the price has a chance to take off. Be careful here, Matt. The SPY is above the volt, okay? Just be careful. For example, what would happen Wednesday, May 7th, 2025? Now heading into the afternoon trading session, the SPY was flat on the day, flat like a pancake, like a pancake. But shortly after 2 o'clock Eastern time, Trump announced trade deals were unlikely anytime soon. As you can imagine, the SPY dropped like a rock on that headline. Go ahead and repost that, Raleigh, so people could see exactly how
Sure,
Chris made that money.
absolutely.
Now,
Yeah.
most traders were reacting to price, probably sold here, since it looked like the SPY was heading lower. But that would have been a big, 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 big mistake. A big, 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 big mistake. All right. Big mistake. Why? That's because the money flow indicator flipped bullish at exactly 2:20 in the morning, meaning big players were buying the dip. Anyone could have placed a quick trade when they felt the bzz, bzz, bzz in their pocket. And sure enough, let me just check this here. And sure enough, walked away with a sweet win as the SPY skyrocketed just a minute later. 20% in 11 minutes. Greg, Willie, Ira, they made out like bandits. Watch it happen again the very next morning. The SPY had been going nowhere down for 30 minutes straight. 10:55 money flow flipped bullish, meaning there was an overall shift from selling pressure to buying pressure. Anyone could have bought in when an alert went out. And sure enough, there it is. The SPY exploded. 121% gain in 22 minutes. $2,500 into each of these would have given you 20%, 121%. It's pretty good. Could have paid out over $3,525 in hardly any time at all. More than enough to beef up your savings account, maybe get a new computer set up. I really need to upgrade my home computer setup. I'm probably going to do it next weekend. Or splurge on an exciting vacation. In fact, that's exactly what folks like Frank, Will, and Richard did with some of their winnings. So far this week, I'm up $3,200, closer to my next vacation, Frank. Ending the week with $4,700. Next vacation coming soon, Will. Richard, there's Richard, $5,000. We love that. Now, of course, there are bound to be winners and losers too, and that's why I always tell my students, never risk more than you can afford to lose. But at this point, I'm sure you're wondering, how does the money flow indicator really work? Specifically, what are we looking at to gauge this buying and selling pressure before the price has a chance to move? And that's a great question. The S&P is an index that's made out of 500 of the largest companies in America, right? Real simple. And folks, please pay attention. This is the last time I'm doing this class. This is it. Okay. I'm not doing one tomorrow. And on Sunday, I have totally something else. This is it. Money flow indicator, and means the price is going up today. The money flow indicator does this by measuring the buying and selling pressure of these 500 stocks as a whole. It adds up the total volume from stocks that are advancing from stocks that are declining. You guys wanted an explanation of how the VOLT works? Here it is. Okay. The results show whether more money is flowing into the SPY or flowing out of the SPY in real time. And that's important because money flow is the driving force behind price action. For example, check out this alert. What you see here is a 1-minute price action of the SPY. And the right below it is the money flow indicator. When money is rising, that means more money is flowing into the S&P than out of the S&P. When money flow indicator is declining, more money is flowing out of the S&P than into the S&P. Now, 99% of the time, Matt, how often would you say the SPY and VOLT are correlated with each other, in your opinion?
A good percentage.
Would you say about 80, 75?
Yeah, I'd say around there.
Yeah. This week and last week, they've been like
They've
glued.
been glued.
They've been
Yeah.
glued
To each
together,
other.
yeah.
They've been like glue, but usually 75%, which means 25%, which is quite a lot. They're not correlated. And as you could see here, they're correlated, right? Here you could see they're correlated, right? And here they're correlated. But sometimes, and when I say sometimes, I don't mean like once a year. I just want to make sure you guys understand this. It happens several, like 2, 3, 4 times a day. Okay. They diverge, meaning capital is pouring into there's no liquidity in the market right now. Volume has been low, so there hasn't been any divergence because there hasn't been anything out of whack happening. Meaning capital is pouring into the S&P 500 companies, but the SPY hasn't caught up yet. We call this bullish divergence because it's only a matter of time till the SPY catches up and starts following the money. Only a matter of time. Watch it happen a few days later. As you could see, the SPY and VOLT money flow indicator were tracking each other tick for tick. But around 1 p.m., money flow flipped bullish, okay? Meaning capital was flooding into the market, creating the perfect buying opportunity. The SPY hasn't moved yet. So we sent out a buy alert to take advantage of this opportunity, okay? Anyone could have gotten a in their pocket, and as expected, the SPY followed the money just minutes later. 76% gain in 33 minutes. And it works the exact same way to the downside too. For example, Tuesday, June 10th, money flow and the SPY were highly correlated at the time, but at 10:10 in the morning, money flow turned sharply negative. Yes, it is, Sandra, same thing. Meaning the majority of the S&P stocks were being sold off at that time. The S&P was still grinding higher, creating a bearish divergence. All right, bearish divergence, and the perfect selling opportunity. Okay, so I sent out an alert at 11:10 to short the SPY. Anyone could have bought a basic put option to take advantage of the down move and hit it out of the park as the SPY was forced to follow the money. Traders like Robert, Vivek, and Mark, they made out like bandits. You guys see the power of the money flow indicator? Just place a quick trade when there's bullish divergence between price and money flow. Wait for the alert to hit your cell phone. When everything works out, cash out on target. 58% gain in 2 hours. And it's not like you need a huge account to take advantage of this. In fact, the average cost per trade is around $100. Okay. So that's not all that much. Not all that much. That means you could start small and scale up from there like Chris did. Chris started in March of this year, have already taken a $500 account, turned it into $14.57. Or Shalom joined Trading Zone Live and love it, already made 300 in 2 days. Or Stefan, so far my $700 account is up to $4,900. Unbelievable return. And if you have a big account like Sherman, well, 121,000 in May. Not bad. Now, the truth is most people don't have 8 hours a day to sit and watch the market like a hawk, unless your name is Roger or Matt, right?
That's true.
Waiting for these brief. I like it. You know what? It's weird. People look at me like I'm crazy, but I love it. I've been
This is
doing it for so
this,
long.
this is
Matt, do
your
you love look?
shtick.
I just like it. Matt, you like looking at the market all the
Oh,
time?
it's wouldn't be doing anything else.
Exactly. See, we love what we do. Waiting for we must be weird or something. I don't know.
It's
Waiting
either
for
this
these.
or air traffic controllers.
Hey, you want to hear something crazy? Do you remember Craig Hill, my assistant, my old assistant, Craig Hill?
Yeah, yeah.
He was an air traffic controller before he became a trader.
Okay.
You're
Oh my gosh.
absolutely right. No, but you're absolutely right. I've heard that from many people, by the way. Waiting for these brief windows of divergence to hit. But the good news is you don't have to. That's exactly why I created a program called Trading Zone Live. And yes, today's going to be the last day you get a chance to get it at a good price, so that we could do the heavy lifting for you, spoon feeding you these alerts all the time. And again, it's August. Markets are really slow right now. There's a lot of Fed news, but typically we're pretty much on fire. I think last week we took 3 trades and they were all winners. And usually there's 3 to 5 trades a day, all day, every day. I'm completely being honest when I say 3 to 5 alerts per day on average. For example, let's look at the last week of June, one of the best weeks we've had. Let's say you put $1,000 into each of these using daily options. And I'll show you in a bit how you could trade these on a very small account. Volt is still going up. Monday, June 23rd, 285, negative 341. See, what a lot of you would have done here, just froze. You would have froze right here. Time helps that. 228, up 840, 1160, 86, Tuesday, June 24th, 405, 232, 767, Wednesday, 385, 135, 142, 450, Thursday, 255, 442, 569, 448, Friday, we lost some money, made 1,500, made 900, 18 wins, 2 losers. That's a 90% win rate. Okay. Let's say you put $1,000 into the SPY and held it for the entire week instead. Take it right away. Should let it go. And we'll answer all of your questions when we're done. Okay. These are real, Pete. These are real trades that we took. They all have timestamps in the members area. We'll answer all of them later. You'd be up $30 if you were on the S&P. But anyone who would have taken these trades with Trading Zone Live, winners and losers. This is the last week of June. This is what happened. Would have made $8,835 from 1 week of trading. As I said earlier, and I'll repeat this again because it's important, none of these are simulated trades. Each of these trades was given with a timestamp, and you could find them in the Telegram channel. Okay? Imagine what you could have accomplished in an entire year. There's a major advantage we have with these 3 to 5. Yes, Alejandro, it's live for everybody except for you. Okay? There's a major advantage we have with 3 to 5 high probability trade alerts per day. You can grow the account really, really quickly. Let's say you're really good at swing trading and you make 1 trade a week and you started with $1,000. Reasonable, right? If everything goes well, at the end of the year, you would have made, 12 trades. Not 12, 4 trades a month. So 48 trades, that $9,000. It's not bad. Not bad, but check out how much faster your account could have grown when you have 3 shots to make your money at any given time. That same $1,000 with the current rate we're hitting on our live trades would have been on pace to turn $1,000, same trades, just more of them, okay, into $123,400. And that's without any compounding. Exponential account growth. And that's not even the best part. With all these trades, your drawdowns end faster. You get a loser, you don't get stuck. You continue, it overpasses because you have a positive expectancy. Folks, it's like walking to your goal versus taking a rocket ship. Okay, it's a big, 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 big difference. And folks, today's the last day to get in on this. That's why it's no surprise that folks are making a killing in Trading Zone Live. What did they say? Dave is up 11,000 this week. DJ Dave up 10,000, up $1,350. Will close tomorrow. The SPY trade, I made 14,000 and another one 29. Vladi, I hear from Vladi all the time, actually. Vivek, went for the 555 call, got out with 10 minutes for about 500%. And you're not going to hear about anybody losing $330,000 by averaging down trades. Because, well, if they want to, we don't do that. I've never averaged down a trade in my life. Trading Zone Live is a game changer. In 5 days, I made 13,000 from the SPY and the SPX. I can't say enough. Trading Zone Live has been on fire. Nathan, thank you, Nathan. And I met a lot of these people when they came here live. We were all together with Richard. There was about 70 or 80 of us. This is the closest program that I've ever found to click and win. Enter the call or put, get the alert. They don't believe it at first until I kept winning and winning and no less than 20%. Deborah. Just closed my 3 runners on the SPY. Got in at 80 cents, out at 370. Jason, very, very nice. You may want to look for a better entry, Matt. You know what I'm saying? Are you there, Matt?
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I'm saying.
I'm watching.
You may want to look for a better entry. Just FYI. It's a profitable trade, but you may want to look for a better entry. In the past 2 days, I've made just over 25K trading SPY. Thank you, Kirk. This is Omar when he was still a beginner, making 100,000 a month. Now he's at 500,000. And I posted 2 weeks ago all of Omar's trades. Okay. That got him there. And he said he's going to update me over the weekend too. Now, those are some of the best stories I've heard, and I cannot wait to hear from you. And I genuinely cannot wait to hear from you. Let me just check something real quick. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. And you can get started today with your very first trade. All right. All you need is a regular brokerage account, a cell phone, and that's it. That's all you need. You don't need to be a market guru. You don't need to be a genius, but you need to have self-control. You need to have self-control. You need to control yourself, okay? And that's what you can expect as a new member today. Every day I'll be watching the market like a hawk for you. That means not only will you get real-time market analysis on the price action of the SPY all day long, but as soon as we spot divergence between the money flow and the SPY, you will get an alert. Are they diverging? No, they're not diverging at all. You get the entry signal, you get the fill price, you get my analysis or Matt's analysis, you get the X alert and a timestamp, and the fill price. Look at that, 84% in 29 minutes. 3 to 5 alerts per day, and you'll never have to worry about missing an alert. You'll get everything in the Telegram channel. It's all updated in real time. Now, if you want to target some of the big fast gains I've shown you today, and I'll show you in a few minutes how you don't need a big account for this, but you can use options. And if you've never traded options, I've got you covered. You'll get my options trading bootcamp so you can hit the ground running right out of the gate. That way you could start targeting big winners like I've shown you today. Even though they may warn you about losing profits, nothing to an evil man. Okay. 31% in 16 minutes, 52% in 23 minutes, 121% in 32 minutes. And I have about 13 to 14 hours. Santiago, I answered that question yesterday. I'll answer that question again. Just let me finish. And about 13 to 14 hours of master classes to help you, okay? And of course, if you can't make it live, every session will be recorded and uploaded to the members area. And I'll show you exactly what we do in a minute, Santiago. And if you need assistance, our US-based customer service team is there to help you every step of the way. Here's everything you're going to get, okay? You're going to get the master classes, the options boot camps. You're going to get the Trading Zone live channel. You're going to get all the analysis and the trading guide. And you're probably wondering, what is it going to cost you? Well, it's going to cost you more if you don't get it today. That's what I'll tell you. Look at the research we've applied to the underlying. Since the soft launch 4 months ago, we've had this is as of last week. We didn't take the 2.5 or 3 trades we did this week. 70% win rate on 193 trades. And we've had an average gain and a loss together is 15.3%, winners and losers. And our profit factor is 2.56, which is amazing. Because if you have an opportunity to make 3 to 5 trades per day, yes, it is, Richard. It is. That can add up very, very, very quickly. Very, very. You could see here it's winner to loser is about the same size. So it's a 1-to-1 with a 70% win rate, which is fantastic. That means for every dollar you risk, you make $2.50 back, and you have an opportunity to do that several times per day. That's fantastic. That means for every dollar risk, we're getting back almost $3. That's not even what gets me so excited. Anyone who would have started with 10K and just put 5%, 5% of your account, which is only about $500 into each trade, you would have made, let me show you, after the last 4 months, you could have earned $41,800, which is pretty significant. That's a 318% return. Okay? 17 times better in the same time period. Now, I'm not going to promise any future returns, but if you were to keep this pace for a whole year, you'd be looking at $125,000 plus. Okay? So it's no surprise that the retail price of this is $49.95. And if you try to sign up through the main website, you're going to pay $49.95, and I'm going to be raising the price on this when this deal is over for 1 year of access. Considering the success that members have been seeing, and considering that Matt and I are Eagle Beagles and we keep our eye on the market at all the time, like literally all day long. Do you guys seen how many times I'm looking over here, over my shoulders? All the time. That's a really good price because takes a lot of time out of us, a lot of time. But since you're here right now, I'm going to do something wild and crazy with the average trade costing right around $100, and the fact that you'd be getting up to 5 alerts per day. I've decided to do something really, really crazy. Don't overstay your welcome here, Matt, and knock off the cost of the first year, because I think you'll be able to get in at the same price as you got in earlier, and knock off the cost of your first full weeks of trading. Think of it as your first 25 trades on me. See, Matt and I are talking about a live trade right now. So instead of paying $49.95, you can join at 50% off at $24.95. But I'm not done yet. Now, see, again, that's where we get confused, Raleigh. They keep saying 100 traders in the door, but we've been selling this since Monday, and it's already Friday, and today's the last day. You get first $500 off. So instead of seeing $49.95, you're going to see $19.95. Aha! Here, okay. So that's it. Finally, they put it on here not to confuse us, folks. It expires at midnight. Okay, tonight. So that's it. So it's official. So there's no more tomorrow. I love you tomorrow. It expires at midnight. That means I can only guarantee the special price for those who join today. So if you're ready to join us now, and if you want to target big gains all day, every day, and if you don't want to pay an extra $2,200, this is a good time to click the link that Raleigh just posted. The deal expires tonight. Tonight. And I will answer all of your questions in just a few minutes. Give me a few minutes. I'll answer all of your questions. Folks, don't miss out on this, because you will be paying more tonight. And finally, I could say it without thinking, am I saying something crazy here? Because I thought it was on Wednesday, and then they said do it again tomorrow. And then today, this is it. This is it, folks. 904-706-3539. Expires at midnight Eastern time. That is right. My goal is for you to pay off your membership at hardly any time at all, just like Jason, Javad, and Lady did. And again, this is it. Okay. I paid for the Trading Zone Live membership in 5 days. I made the cost of Trading Zone Live back in first 3 days, Javad. I paid for my Trading Zone Live membership on the first day. All the details of your new Trading Zone Live. There's still a lifetime membership, yes. But I'm telling you guys that tonight, no more soup for any of you. The soup kitchen.
The soup kitchen's closing.
The soup kitchen closed. Matt just took a winner chicken dinner, a little winner, and I think you'll be able to get. I think we'll have another trade today. What do you think, Matt? Yeah, I think we're going to have another trade today. But we just took a winner. All the details of your new Trading Zone Live membership are on the next page. Good for you, Omar. Nice. I gave you Google earlier today. That was on my watch list. I even circled it right here. Good job, Omar. Good job. Omar, I tell you to buy it, but I already know you have it. When you join today, you immediately get everything at half off. And again, you saved $500 on top. And for a very limited time, I've set up a very sweet deal where you can get 2 extra years for an extra $500. That's a 75% savings on the second year. You can access all of the details once you click on the link. Thank you. That's a post from Ken. He's a post PhD from math, and he's fantastic. All of you guys are fantastic. You guys are
Yeah.
just awesome. Awesome. We have a very, 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 very good crowd here. You can access all the details on the link in the chat. Raleigh will repost it again. It's first come, first serve. Um, click the link in the chat. If you, yeah, go ahead and repost that, Raleigh,
Yep.
and secure your membership. Omar made $45,350 today.
Just today.
Omar, you mean you didn't lose $300,000 averaging into
Averaging.
who in the, this is what, okay, remember what I said? The biggest danger in trading is when you know enough just to be dangerous. That averaging down and losing $300,000. 1995 for instant access. Once you secure your Trading Zone Live membership today, do not close the next page. On that page, you'll get a unique invite to upgrade your membership to lifetime. No renewal fees. And Bob says, guys, I would not give up this program for anything, not even for my kids and wife. Oh my. Oh my.
Oh
Thanks,
my.
Bob. Plus, the lifetime membership will get free access to the money flow indicator. Folks, this is where the magic happens. This is where the magic happens. When I say the magic happens, I really mean the magic happens, okay? Um, too much information. You guys really do crack me up. I gotta tell you that. You guys crack me up. Inside the money flow indicator I've shown you today, plus 3 other valuable tools, and we've expanded this. It doesn't have 4 columns anymore. So if you're looking at this, it doesn't look like this. It actually has 6 columns. So you get a lot of stuff there. You get a lot of stuff there. You get a lot of goodies, and I show you how to use it. Okay, that way you can target as many money making opportunities each and every day on your own. Okay, uh, Ben, Raleigh will clarify it all for you right now. Okay, he'll
Yeah,
clarify.
exactly. Let me do something real quick here, Roger. Like give
Yeah,
you a breather there.
yeah,
I am going to go ahead and post the pricing for everybody, and I'll walk you through it. So, as Roger said, there are 3 prices that are available, and these are special prices. So the 1 year program is 1995. Okay. We do have, and this is good until this is all stops tonight at midnight. Or when we fill out these slots. The 2 year price is $24.95, so for $500 more. Now, when you sign up for the 1 year or the 2 year program, you're going to get an option to go to lifetime. The total cost for lifetime is $39.70. So, for example, if you go for the 1 year program, an additional $2,000 roughly to go to lifetime. If you sign up for the 2 year program, it's going to be about another $1,500 to get lifetime. Everything is covered by a 14-day money back guarantee. So from the time you make your purchase, you've got 14 days to take full advantage of this program. Everything that we've got here. And you know Roger, he undercommits and overdelivers on anything. And if despite our best efforts, it's not something that works for you, call us. We'll refund every penny of your investment, or perhaps you'd like to have a credit in another one of our programs. That's how it
exactly.
works.
Yeah,
And when you go with Lifetime, you're going to get the money flow dashboard, which is huge. So, guys, you're going to get the fish and you're going to get the fishing rod and how to use it. It all comes together.
exactly. And look at this. Who made Richard? He made 20,000 on a day. He broke his record, but then Richard broke another record and made 200,000 for the month. I got to give him a call. I haven't heard from him in 2 days. Maybe he's on vacation. Now I could easily charge $9.95 for access. Thank you, Bob. I'm going to give it to you for free when you buy this lifetime. Okay, get the lifetime, get access. But I'm not just here to give you feed you fish. I want to teach you how to fish. Traveling. I figured he was traveling. Yeah, yeah. So if you're one of the first traders in the door, you're not going to pay $9.95. Gotcha. I figured that was going on. So I'm going to include it in your membership for free. And not only that, I'm going to give you lifetime access. I'll walk you through exactly how to use it step by step during the masterclass sessions this week. And only the action takers today will get access. Consider it my way of saying thank you for joining today. It takes less than 10 seconds to install. There's no download needed. So if you want to claim the special bonus, then you need to sign up now. Click the link in the chat or give us a call. It's not, Pete, there's no dashboard here. It's a trading service. Let me give you an example. Look, a little earlier today, little here, go long SPY. Here's the fill. The strike price of your option, Santiago, would be 646 because that's the closest strike price to this. Right there, 646. And he got in at 645.95. The trade was initiated at 1140. This is a long trade. We've been in this trade till recently, and we just took profit at 646.21. Okay? And you would have had 2 hours to get into this trade. All right? Thank you.
Matt was tracking the vol the whole time. That's
We were tracking old.
That's why that's why we hung on to the trade, and it's all covered in the master class.
Exactly. Absolutely. So 1995 for instant access. Get it now. Now, my goal with the Trading Zone Live and the Money Flow dashboard is to help you become a skilled trader. I want to give you all the tools and insight that you need. Oh, there he is. Yeah. See, I figured he was looking for another entry off the 15. I want to give you all the insight you need to get you after your financial goals. See, Matt is updating people right now. He's looking for another entry off the 15-day right now, EMA. So he's telling people exactly what he's looking to do. All right. It's all there. Now, folks, this is it. This is the last day. This is the last day we're doing this. This is it. When I say this is it, they actually wrote this here. So I know this is it. And many of you guys are seeing incredible results. What do people have to say for themselves? Cherie says, my SPY calls are up $2,500 in 30 minutes. Vince, 233% winners. I got you, Angie. Jesse, $3,500 this morning. Roger made 1,440 Trading Zone Live. Thank you. Tebow, I joined Roger's Lifetime Trading Zone Live, and success is now hot. We like that. Excellent SPY trade, up $8,400. Liberty. Carlos, I've been booking no less than 20% profit on the trades. Pulled a nice $4,420 from the SPY this morning. To all the new people out there, this program is the best program I've ever had. I would not ever give it up. Bob, thank you, Bob. Thank you. Let me see something here. Yeah, perfect. I don't blame you, Bob. Thank you for the last two Trading Zone trades. Look at this. Made money there, Steve. I've increased my account from less than $13,000 to $32,000. Kirk, I just had $50,000 day. Thank you. You're welcome. I closed out my $10,000 day. I'm up $72,000. Richard, he is collecting a family of traders. That's Ken. He's here right now. Thank you for posting, Ken. I appreciate it. I am collecting a family of traders. It's all thanks to the new Trading Zone Live. You got to get your hands in on it. I'm unlocking everything and handing it over to you and me and Clyde. Special surprise. I've experimenting with a brand new type of trade that we call lottery trades. That's Matt getting crazy and wild at the last hour of the day. It's a new way to target extreme gains 30 minutes after the close. Basically, you buy dirt cheap daily options around 3:30 in the afternoon. And because there's virtually zero premium baked in, all you need is a tiny move from the SPY to make out like a bandit. For example, in at 12 cents, look at this, in at 12 cents, out at 26 cents. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. And you get the strike price, what option to buy, the expiration date. Well, the expiration date is always today. 3 minutes later, 116% gain in 3 minutes. Or how about June 12th? Anyone could have placed this lottery trade at 3:47 in the morning. 11 minutes later, 96% gain in 11 minutes. Or how about July 1st? All right. 78% gain in 9 minutes. Or how about, anyway, there will be winners and losers, folks. But overall, we've been doing well. Carl, 188%, 240%, Theo, 200%. $227 profit in only seconds. Don, $550 in 5 minutes. $500 in 3 minutes. Kevin, 200%, extra 450. Says US gets 10 stake in Intel. I want to wait for Intel to tell me that. Thank you, Cyrus. I want Intel to tell me that. Love these lottery trades. Got in at 18 cents and out at 66. Very nice. In at 25, out at 45. Very, very nice. In the coming months, I'm considering launching a brand new service to give you lottery trades. And based on the success we've seen, $19.95 per year would be very, very valid. But when you join Trading Zone Live, you don't have to go that route. You're not going to have to pay $19.95. You're going to get free access until we officially launch it, if we launch it. But I can't guarantee the special offer. So if you want in, you need to join Trading Zone Live right now. Click the link in the chat, give us a call, secure your access immediately at $19.95. This is the last day we're doing this. Remember the opportunity, folks. If you've ever struggled in the market, feeling like you're taking 2 steps back and 1 step forward, this will help you. This will help you. It's not your fault. You need a consistent way to follow the money. Place a quick trade when there's bullish divergence between price and money flow. Wait for the alert to hit your cell phone. And when everything works out, ba-boom. Okay? When everything works out, you can hit it real, real hard. Okay? Cash out as target, 78%, 33 minutes. Click the link in the chat. Secure your spot now. This is the best deal you're going to find. And I'll talk about how you could use this with a small account in just a few minutes. So let's do this. Are you only trading calls and puts? Yes, we're only trading calls and puts or E-minis, and I'll talk about that in just a few minutes. There's no complicated spreads. There's no butterflies. There's no monkey business. Omar says, I love your baboom. I got to wear my baboom shirt that PJ got me. I gotta wear that. How much does the average trade cost? Well, the average option, how much was this option that we just did, Matt? What was it? I could find it right here. Let's see. It was the 85, 645. It would have been anywhere from $1 to $2. That's it. That's how much that you would have paid for this trade. The average trade is about $100 to $300. So there's just not much. They're not that expensive. And I'll show you how you could do this on a very cheap way. Now, if I'm a beginner, is Trading Zone Live a good fit for me? Yes, it'll give you a framework and an edge. And if you have Alpha Zone Pro, they work pretty good together because you can see the levels. Do I need $25K account for this? This is what I wanted to tell you. You don't need $25,000 for this. There's 2 different ways to do this. The first way, the real simple way is you can just open up multiple cash accounts. Okay? Just open up multiple cash accounts and you're good to go. Richard says $2.15 for 1 DT at Fidelity. Richard, how much did you make on that trade? Let me know. Just out of curiosity. So, or you can open up an E-mini account, or you could trade E-minis with your stockbroker with Thinkorswim. Tastyworks. You can't do it with Fidelity, but you could do it with most brokers. 8 out of 10 brokers, you could do it. Okay. So you can open up a futures account. You could trade futures with your broker. There's no day trading margin. Now, if you want to open up a futures account, hypothetically with AMP Futures or with NinjaTrader, if you want to go down that route, you need $400 to open an account. So Richard made $80 on the SPY. So let's do the math here. It costed him $215, and he made $80. So Richard made about 60%, about 60, not 60, about 40% on $200. That's pretty good, Richard. That's pretty good right there. Very, very nice. Nice. Is there any sort of guarantee? Yes. 14-day money back guarantee. Okay. How will you receive alerts? It'll post all the trades in the Telegram channel. In this case, this trade lasted a couple hours. You would have had plenty of time. Here's a screenshot of what the Trading Zone Live alerts will look like. Entry alert, fill price, exit alert with a runner, fill price with a timestamp. How do I get more than just alerts in Trading Zone Live? You get, like Matt was telling today, I'm waiting for it to bounce to the 15-day. Here's the internals. I update you and I say, this is Roger. I update you and Matt updates you all the time. All the time. And you get customer service live from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Cam and Gustavo show. They will help you every way they can. And most of the time when folks ask us questions, they already know and they can help right away. Okay. Now let's take some live questions. What do you guys say?
Yeah, it sounds great, Roger. First of all, fantastic presentation. And I also want to thank everybody in the room for sharing the testimonials with us and to also answering some of the questions that came up. But here's some that I wrote down, Roger. Sandra asked earlier on, is the money flow indicator the same as the volt, or are they two different things?
Um, it's the same thing. It's the volt or T2104 if you use TC2000. Every platform has a different name.
Okay.
But if
So
you go to Google and you type in volt, that's what it is. That's really what it is.
Okay, there you
Yeah.
go. So the money flow indicator, folks, is just another term for the volt. And you've heard us today with so much emphasis on the volt. As a matter of fact, Matt's been doing a great job just keeping us posted on that. The second question was this. Am says, so when you take a trade, and let's say I get the alert, but I don't get in right away, should I just let it go and wait for the next one? Or is there a little bit of a grace? How do you advise somebody about that, Roger?
It
And
just
the
depends.
alert comes, how quickly do you have to react?
Look at the price. Look at our fill price. Our fill price will tell you exactly whether you're in a rush or not.
Okay.
So Matt just posted an alert. Filled at 650, 45.84. We're at 645.94. Probably could still place it, but if it was at 640, 610, I wouldn't be placing anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just common sense. That's why we give you the price, so you can know what option to buy and you know whether to chase or not. Look at the price and look at the price of the SPY, and that'll tell you right away.
hmm Now, the
Yeah.
thing is this, Am, you don't have to be sitting there looking at the charts all day. But what you do need to do is you need to be available. And what we mean by that is that when the alert comes on your phone, okay, you need to be available to take a look at it and decide if you want to take the trade. And Roger, I asked Roger earlier this week, so when you get the alert, how long does it take to enter one of these? You're buying a call. He says
Probably.
30 seconds or less, right?
Yeah, that may be a little too much. Just depends. You may have it already, your screen open and ready, and then you just like, okay, am I going to be buying the 645, 640, boom, 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 boom. 3, 4 clicks. That's it.
Right.
You could do it on
Exactly.
your phone. I mean, it's instant. I mean, it's just strike price. Okay, strike price is right here. Look, strike price. Okay, what's the strike price? It's 645.84. It's 646. That's your strike price. How long did it take
Right.
me to figure that out? Less than a third of a second. Go long means buy, and expiration is tomorrow. I mean, what do you need? What else can I do to make it easier?
No,
That's about as easy as it comes. I mean, it's just that easy. So
yep.
it's really straightforward. Very, very straightforward.
Excellent. And then, of course, Santiago had asked the question. I think you just answered it. Are you giving the option strike or just the SPY level? No, you get what you need. And see, the key thing is this, guys. Roger, from my perspective, as a neophyte when it comes to option trading, is that the beauty about this thing is since you're dealing with zero dated or one dated options, I don't have a lot of questions about how far out should I go or what delta do I pick or anything along those lines. I'm basically going to essentially get in at market. I mean, you telling us what the entry price is, that's all you need
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah. And these are market orders. These options have perfect spreads.
Exactly. Exactly. So it is straightforward. And folks, for those of you that are new or haven't traded options, these are level one options. You're going to
There's
buy a call, and most of these are calls, aren't they? Are there puts from
No,
time to
there's
time,
puts.
Raj?
Oh, we
Okay.
do puts sometimes. Sure.
Okay.
Puts. Matt and I don't really think about it, but if the market's going up, it's a call. If it's going down, it's a put. It's like making a left. Hold on, I got to close the door.
Okay. But these are all level one options, folks.
They just had to. They had to express themselves.
The menagerie. Yeah. So anyway, Roger, we were talking. These are level one options. You're going to
Yeah.
buy a call on a bullish signal or buy a put on a bearish signal.
That's all.
And
That's all this is. That's all this is, and it's just that straightforward. Sorry, I'm assuming you heard a little of that preview back there, but the dogs are going crazy now. But yeah, it's real straightforward, real simple, and you just buy simple call or put, or you buy the E-mini. You can just buy the E-mini.
Mhm.
Real simple. Now, somebody asked me a great question here. If you don't mind, I want to answer it. Yan Zhang, what's the difference between TCL, AZP, and PTT? So, Trading Zone Live is an alert service for trading the SPY or the E-minis, the indexes. Uh, uh, Trading Pit is an alert service for trading options on stocks and stock options, not index and index options. Alpha Zone Pro is the tool that we use to measure the SPY in order to trade it and market internals. And the Alpha Zone and the
Pro Trader. Yep.
Pro Trader dashboard is what we use to measure. So Pro Trader dashboard is a tool for stocks. Alpha Zone Pro is a tool for indexes. Trading Zone Live is an alert service for indexes, and the Pit is the that's where I'm at pretty much all day. Is the alert service for stock and stock options. And Matt's usually, I'm watching everything. I mean, I'm watching everything like a hawk. As you could see the interaction between Matt and I even here, and while I'm doing a webinar, so you can only imagine how much I bust his balls when I'm not in a webinar. But we work out pretty good. We're about 10 feet away from each other, except when he has COVID. And we talk about what to do. We have our internals and we have our AZP, and we decide what to do. But so one is a platform, one is a platform, one is an alert service, and same thing for the other. One is for indexes and one is for stocks. Okay. Can I talk about cost structure of futures versus SPY options? Just send me an email, Randy. I've done so many videos on that and it's in the members area too. It's in the AZP members area. And I mean, I'll tell you really quickly what it is. It's micro e-minis, $5. Angie, I'm sure you can if you call customer service, 904-706-3539. And by today, folks, today's the last day you can save. That I could tell you because they confirmed it. Expires tonight. See here, right here, expires tonight. So we know that. But it's raining out there. So getting back to what I was saying, E-mini S&P, $50 a point, micro E-mini S&P, $5 a point. Options on SPY, anywhere from $100 to $300. Their leverage is pretty much the same. They're all highly leveraged. I've never met a person who trades the SPY that didn't tell me it's highly leveraged, and I've never met a person who trades options that didn't say it was highly leveraged. So I think it just started pouring. So I think we all agree completely on that. Matt, you too, on your side?
Yep.
Yeah, it just started pouring. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Any other questions I can answer? I love answering questions.
Yeah, there was another question on the future side, Roger. Do the micro E-minis or the E-minis, do they move in the same way that the SPY does?
They literally move tick for tick with the SPY.
Yeah, they're mirror images, folks.
Yeah, they're like, I mean, they tick for tick. Otherwise, you see, folks, if they didn't move tick for tick, you'd be able to arbitrage them.
Yeah, all day long.
So yeah,
absolutely.
And folks, you could do this. Believe it or not, you can even do futures in an IRA account. They allow futures. They don't allow you to do naked options, but they allow you to do futures. So you could do all of those things. And again, we update you. Oh, look at Bugs. Bugs just gave us updates. I'm going to post this, Bugs. They love when I update this, Bugs. So I'm going to
he put it to everyone, I think. Yeah.
I'll do that right now. I'm just going to put it in the Telegram channel. They love when I do that. Thank you, Bugs. They love when you do that. So I'll do that right now. Hold on.
And let's see if there was any other questions here, folks. We've got Roger just for a couple minutes or so. He's got to get
for you guys.
He's got to get after some stuff here, but let's and I'm going to stay a little bit longer and I'll answer any last minute questions that you have. But let's ask Roger. Roger, can you tell you how much you do E-mini futures? Can you tell your experience with how to do E-mini? Okay, so Cyrus is saying at some point in time, can you hold a class on E-mini futures?
Yeah, I will, Cyrus. But also, I think you have Alpha Zone Pro in the members area. I literally have like 4 hours of me doing this. Okay, 4 hours of me doing this. Jason, we don't shoot for a exit point. There is no shooting for exit points. It doesn't work that way in real life. There's no exit points in real life. We look at momentum when we look at the trade minute by minute. I don't know too many successful traders that have exit levels on an intraday level. Sometimes it works, but it's not in this market, not in this choppy market. I mean, the market virtually has not been doing anything in the last 4 hours. You realize that. So not here. If I'm buying a pullback, then I'll wait for it to get to another level, but it just depends. These are just quick scalps. It's quick scalps. All right. I think I've said enough. I think we've got everybody here situated. I think people are pretty happy about where they're at right now. iPhone says, if I'm just VIP room member, do I have anything special? If you're just in the VIP room, you get everything special. You get me iPhone. Am I not special enough for you? All right, guys. You guys have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you later. Raleigh, I'll go ahead and give the screen to you, okay?
Okay, buddy, I got it. And
And folks, thank you so much. And Matt, thank you. I know you're not 100% yet. I will see you. I'll talk to you later today, and I'll see you on Monday, okay?
All right.
Bye,
sounds
guys. Take
great.
care.
Hey,
Bye,
Matt,
everybody.
Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
Raleigh, for helping me out. I really appreciate all that you do. Let's
I'm
thank
having a
everybody.
great
Let's
time.
thank Raleigh, everybody,
Oh, no.
for all the
My
nice things. All
You're
pleasure.
right.
awesome.
My
All right.
pleasure. And once again, Roger, thank you and Matt for your time, that you spend with us every day, and more importantly, for the effort that you put into bringing programs like this to us. Because, folks, I don't know if you know this or not, but essentially, this is a program that Roger created for himself because he wanted to have a day trading edge in the market. And once zero dated and one dated options became available trading the indexes, which was about like, I don't know, 18 months ago or so, that's when the light bulbs went off and he said, wow, there's a strategy here. And he and Matt went to work on it. And so he developed it for himself. And once he saw the kind of consistency and performance that just really knocked his socks off, he says, you know what, we have to bring this to the world at large. And so that's what we're doing here. So for those of you that came a little bit late to this, wondering who I am, my name is Raleigh White. I'm the senior moderator at the Trading Pub, and I'm also Roger's wingman for his presentations, and I'm delighted to do that. So first thing I'd like to share with you is that this is a live presentation. And for those of you that may want to have a copy of this presentation, all you have to do is, and I'm putting this in the chat, just give me your name and your email address and say, send me the replay. And also on this, folks, make sure that you do that to host and panelists. I know the room is open to everyone, and I'm glad we're doing that because everybody, this is such a warm community. We don't have troublemakers in here. We're supporting each other, and that enables us to keep it open. But if you're going to share your phone number or email address with me, just make sure that you send that to the host and panelists. That way, that information is not shared with everyone here. Now, the second thing I'd like to share with you is that I have created a summary over what was presented today, and I've stripped out all the marketing and the testimonials, and it's kind of the bare bones of the program. And I'd like to share that with you and the special pricing. Great for those of you that came late, or if you'd like just a real quick refresher over what the program's about. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat panel, and I'll be glad to address those as soon as I'm finished with the summary. Take me anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes to get through this, folks. So, as you know, the focus here was on Trading Zone Live, and it's a new way to target double, even sometimes triple digit gains 3 to 5 times a day. So, yes, this is an active day trading program that focuses on one ticker, the SPY. That's all we need. It's a basket of 500 stocks, and it's everything that we need. It gives us the liquidity, the momentum, the rhythm, all the things that Roger tells us that we need to have when looking at something to trade. So the focus is on the SPY, and we use a money flow indicator to help give us an edge. And that's important because the money flow indicator gives us the ability to predict where the SPY might be heading before the price even moves. And that gives us these opportunities to see these big moves. So what you're looking at here, guys, is a 1 minute chart of the SPY. Okay, we see this up here. Now below it, what we have plotted is the money flow indicator, and as some people have mentioned, or the volt. All right, they're one in the same. Now, what you see here is that the money flow, as money flow is rising, that means that more money is flowing into the S&P 500 stocks than are moving out. Okay, and when the money flow indicator is declining or moving lower like this, more money is flowing out of these 500 S&P stocks than are moving in. Now, about 99% of the time, and I think Roger and Matt said maybe it's more like 70 to 80% of the time, the point here is that the money flow indicator and the SPY are highly correlated because money flow drives price action. And as you can see here, I mean, these charts are almost mirror images of one another. Okay, but there are some times when we find a divergence, when the money flow indicator moves before the SPY does. And as Roger says, this isn't like once a year or once a month. This can happen several times during the course of a trading day. And when that happens, once again, it's a divergence, and this is what we're looking for. What that means is that capital in this particular case is moving into the S&P 500 companies, but the SPY ETF hasn't caught up yet. See how the money flow indicator is moving up? But the pricing on the SPY, it's just staying flat. And this is predicting where it's going to go. And you know what we can do with a prediction. We can take advantage of that. And what this is called, we'll call this a bullish divergence, okay? Because it's only a matter of time until the SPY is going to catch up because it's forced to follow the money. I mean, this is not something to debate. Sooner or later, it's going to have to catch up. So if we can get in early, and take advantage of this move, that works for us. Now, as soon as we spot a divergence, Matt is watching this thing like a hawk, right? Okay, between the money flow and the SPY, what you're going to do is you're going to get an alert, and the alert's going to look like this. First, we'll tell you what the entry is. In all cases, folks, we're trading the SPY. Go long the SPY, all right? And at this point in time, and Roger's going to say, oh, by the way, here's where I got filled. So your strike price is 584. So look to go long at 584. And then Roger's going to say, hey, if you've got multiple contracts on, you might want to get off now, take some profit, and leave a runner on. Then a little bit later, and he'll tell you that, hey, I got filled at 584.98, then take the profit on the runner, and I got out at 586.34. So let's kind of recap here for me. Got filled at 584, took a profit at 584.98, and then held a runner on and got off at 586.34. This is exactly what the flow of information would have looked like coming to you. And of course, everything is time stamped and it's available to you. This particular trade would have generated an 84% gain in just 29 minutes. Now, that 84% is not trading the underlying. This is trading an option on the SPY, okay? And in this particular case, buying a call would have generated that 84% gain. Now, when you become a member of the Trading Zone Live, on average, you're going to get about 3 to 5 high conviction trade alerts every day. Now, this week has been a pretty rough sideways moving week, and we haven't met that. But once again, we're only going to give you the best trades that we see given what the market's giving us. And I think today, I believe we probably have 3 trades that are going on, one a loser, one a winner, and we're into one. But anyway, about 3 to 5 is what we've been seeing on average. So for example, let's take a look at what happened at the end of June. This was a very active week for us. We can see that the SPY gained about 3% on the underlying, okay? Which is not bad for the SPY. 3% in a week, that's pretty darn good. But check out what would have happened if every alert had been taken using zero-dated options in the trading zone during this period. And let's assume that you had put $1,000 into each one of those trades. Here's what that last week of June would have looked like to you. You would have been in 20 trades, 18 wins, and 2 losses over the course of this week. A ton of activity here. Once again, 18 wins. And putting $1,000 into it, you can see what the wins would have been. Just scan that quickly, and you can see sometimes they were very fast trades. Some were 23 minutes, some were 71 minutes. There's a 3-minute trade, a 26-minute trade. But this is what happened over the course of this week. So let's say, for example, you had decided to put $1,000 into the SPY and held it for the week. Remember, it was up 3%. There you go. There's your 30 bucks. Now, going with the zero-dated options and using the Alpha Zone Pro, this is what your gain would have been, $8,835. Putting $1,000 into each one of those 20 trades, the net, in other words, between winners and losers, your net walk away was $8,835. And since we did the soft launch of this about 4 months ago, our results have been pretty darn good. And you can see that here. You can see we have a win rate of about 70.5%. So we did 193 trades. And this is as of, I think, last week when this was published. The average win is 35%. The average loss is 33%. Some people are saying, hey, when you get into this, am I risking 100% of what we put in? We manage those. Matt manages those. Today, I think our loser was maybe a point on that particular trade, but the average loss is negative 33%. So the average return on every given trade is about 15.3%. That's not per week. folks. That's not per month or per year. That's for every trade, 3 to 5 of those a day. That's how you can see how things add up quickly. The profit factor, 2.56. What that means is for every dollar at risk, you make $2.56. And that's a fantastic profit factor. So 71% win rate, 15.3 average return. It's kind of the holy trinity as far as I'm concerned when it comes to trading. Now, when it comes to these alerts, folks, there's no reason why you should ever miss one. Because what we do is you're going to be entered into a private Telegram channel, and that Telegram channel is going to reach you wherever you are in the world, and it's fast. So as long as you've got a device like a phone or a pad or a laptop, that you can get on the internet, you could be in Timbuktu, okay? As long as you have internet, you're going to get that alert. The reason why we like Telegram, a couple of reasons. It is fast, much faster than a text message or an email. And since we are doing day trades here, it's important that when Matt or Roger post something in the Trading Zone Live, that you get it within seconds. You don't need to get it 3, 5 minutes later because then it's too late. That's what Telegram does for you. Also in Telegram, Roger and Matt can easily copy and paste and they can put charts and graphics and even some short form videos in there as they look to keep you up to speed. So Telegram is how you get those. And if you want to target some of the gains that we saw today, what we showed you, folks, we were trading options here. And for those of you that may be new to options or don't understand options all that well, I'm glad Roger did this. He includes the options trading bootcamp series here in this program. And what this will do is teach you what you need to do to trade these kinds of options. And as a spoiler alert, folks, these are level 1 options. Any broker that allows you to trade US stocks and options will give you level 1 permission. Because once again, these are, even though they're not huge moves, these are still directional trades. So buying a call, okay, on a bullish move or buying a put on a bearish move is exactly how to trade these. So there's no strangles, no spreads, no iron condors, which are great strategies, but for different market conditions. We are looking at trending market conditions here, buying a call, buying a put, very straightforward. And Roger is so big on education. He wants to make sure that you thoroughly understand how to trade this program the way he does. This is his baby. So what he has done is he's put together a series of master classes. I think it's about 8 to 10 hours worth of this information in your members area that walks you through step by step on this process. And he typically will hold a live one of these once a quarter. And you'll be invited. But if you can't attend, they're always recorded and they'll be in your members area. And so once again, I'd be willing to bet if you're signing up for the program now, you've got the weekend, you've got plenty of time to absorb this information as you get ready for next week. We also have a US-based customer support team that'll answer any questions that you have about your membership. And so everything that you get that I've talked about so far, you get the alerts, you have the masterclass sessions, you have the private Telegram channel, the customer support, the options trading boot camp, the getting started guide. Everything that you see here is what the program is. But what Matt and Roger are doing right now, I think is really cool because they've added basically a surprise bonus to the program. As Roger mentioned to you, he and primarily Matt have discovered a pretty interesting phenomenon in a way to go ahead and to trade in the last 30 minutes of the trading day. And they're called lottery trades. So in other words, we're still waiting to see a divergence in the last 30 minutes of the trading session. And we've seen some really cool opportunities to get some very quick wins. Basically, what you do is you buy a dirt cheap option at around 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And because there's virtually zero premium baked into these options that late in the day, all you need is a very, very small move to get a pretty big win. For example, as Roger showed this to you on June 23rd, anyone could have taken this lottery trade at 3:48 p.m. Okay? So right here you see it, lottery trade, buy to open, SPY, zero dated option, 600 strike. And that was at 3:48, okay? Everything that you need to know to trade. And 3 minutes later, once again, this is a pretty fast trade, there was a 116% gain on that trade in 3 minutes. Let me back it up for a minute. because you see we got filled at 12 cents. Okay. And then 3 minutes later, Roger says, take a profit. And we got filled at 26 cents. There's your move, 12 to 26. And that took 3 minutes. Now, Roger and Matt will tell you this was very fast. This is not normally how quick it is. Typically, I think they're anywhere from 8 to 12 to 10, 15 minutes on these particular trades. But this was a quick one. And here's another one that came up on July 1st. You can see here, buy to open SPY, zero dated option, 618 calls. Okay, that's exactly where you want to get in. Roger says, hey, filled at 28 cents. And then 9 minutes later, take profit on the SPY and filled at 50 cents, 28 to 50 cents. Okay, a 78% gain in 9 minutes on this lottery trade. Now, what Roger and Matt are thinking about doing is, and our publisher is really behind this, is basically saying perhaps this ought to be a separate program, something that we sell to people, lottery trades, the last 30 minutes of the day, a separate program, a separate alert system. And if we do something like that, it'll probably be around somewhere around 2 grand, okay? If we do that. If we do it, that's where it's going to be. But at this point in time, we're so pleased with these that when you join the Trading Zone Live, you're going to get these lottery trades in addition to the Alpha Zone Pro trades, okay? It's going to be there. And we're not going to charge you $19.95 for it. You're going to get it in your regular subscription as long as we don't release this as a separate program. So when I asked Roger, I said, Roger, when could we be releasing this? He said, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months, a year, maybe never. Who knows? But for now, as long as you sign up for this, you're going to get those bonus lottery trades as well. Now, considering all that, the price that our publisher put on this was about $4,995. But what Roger wanted to do is, since we're in the summer and we are in the doldrums and things are getting ready to pick up, he said, you know what? I would like to see if we can get 100 people to come on and subscribe to the service. He wanted to get over 1,000, and we've achieved that. And he said, to do that, let's put some crackerjack pricing out there. The first thing he said is, just lock $2,500 right off the price of that. So the $49.95 becomes $24.95. And then he said, once again, for the first 100 traders inside the door, we started doing this on Monday. Let's give them an additional $500 off. So $19.95 is the price for everything that I showed you, including the lottery trades, for 1 year. And for a limited time, he said, let's give them 2 years for an extra $500. Let's just make it really attractive. If they want to go more than 1 year, let's give them a 2 year price. So when you go to the landing page, okay, you look at these here, you see that the 1 year price is $19.95. And you can get 2 years for $500 more. And once again, all this special pricing is going to be going away, certainly by midnight tonight, midnight tonight, which is 3 a.m. East Coast time and midnight Los Angeles time. So midnight across the United States, this thing is going to go away. And here's a snapshot of what the members area looks like. This is a screenshot. This is the top part of it. And you see when you go in there, you're going to want to join the Telegram channel. So you click on here and it takes you right into that. If you want to look at the recorded master classes that are there, you go there for that. If you need some customer support, go there. Here's your getting started guide, which is a good place to start because it just walks you through everything that you can expect. It grounds you appropriately on that. Now, once you sign up for the 1 to the 2 year program, many people here have said, hey, Raleigh, do you guys have a lifetime price on this? And the answer to that question is yes, we do. And that will come up on the next page. After you sign up for the 1 year or the 2 year program, there's a lifetime price. The lifetime price is $39.70. So what do you get with lifetime? Why would you even think about that? Well, first of all, it's the best value, and particularly with something like this that you plan on using for a very long time. All right. And that's number one. And secondly, any changes or enhancements that we do to this program, you're going to get all those upgrades and enhancements free of charge because we will never charge you a software upgrade fee or a maintenance fee. As we add new features here, you'll get those upgrades automatically. The second thing is that our lifetime memberships are legacy licenses. And that means that if you have a son or daughter, a friend or an acquaintance that you would like to gift your membership to, all you have to do is call us and let us know that you would like to gift that membership. We will do that free of charge. And from that point going forward, that individual will have ongoing lifetime access to the program. And what a great gift that is. But the other thing Roger did is said this, let's give them another perk for somebody that goes lifetime. Let's give them the money flow dashboard. Okay. This is the market internals dashboard that Roger uses every day and every minute of the day to evaluate what's going on in the market, in particularly when it comes to trading the SPY. And that's what this program is about. We're talking about how can we become consistent and confident day traders of the SPY. This is one of the key tools that Roger uses to find the opportunities that he gives to you in the Trading Zone Live. So this is the fishing rod and how to use it, okay? And if you sign up for lifetime, he will include that. In addition to that, there's a lot of educational material there where Roger walks you through exactly how he uses this tool. Because after all, this is his baby, and he wants you to know how he uses it and to make sure that you know how to use it to take advantage of that. And this is, it's not 95. You get it free when you join Lifetime. And it only takes about 10 seconds to install. It's very, very easy. Boom, it comes up on your monitor and you're up to speed. And you're seeing 4 screens at this point in time. He's added 2 more. He's added some bond data and some volume price data as well. So these are the 6 windows into the market that he calls market internals that he uses, and he'll teach you how to use it. And the main one, that we talked a lot about today, the money flow indicator and the VOLD, they're one of the same, and the VOLD is part of this program. So some frequently asked questions. Are you only trading calls and puts? Yes. No complicated spreads, butterflies, iron condors. Folks, these are very, very simple directional trades. If it's a bullish signal, you'll buy a call. If it's a bearish signal, you'll buy a put. We tell you when to get in, exactly where to get in, and we tell you when to get out. How much does the average trade cost? Well, since we're trading zero-dated and one-dated options, these are much cheaper than buying normal, like weekly or monthly options on the SPY. And typically the cost is somewhere around between $100 and $300 per contract. And we saw some examples today. I think on the zero-dated options, I think we paid like $150, and on the one-dated option, I think it was $2.25 was the cost to get a single contract, somewhere in that range. But it's always between $100 and $300. So from that perspective, we think it's small account friendly. You don't have to have a huge account to trade these, and you can start small with a single contract and grow your account, no problem. Can I trade zero-dated options in my regular brokerage account? Yes. Nearly all brokerage accounts offer zero-dated options, and you can trade them just like any other regular option. I've been told by many members here that if you're trading using Fidelity, Fidelity won't let you enter a zero-dated option after 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So for that reason, you trade one-dated options. There's no problem. I've also heard that Robinhood, for example, won't allow you to trade a zero-dated option after 3:30 p.m. I don't know this for a fact. I've just been told this by several members. I'm sharing that with you. And so if you're looking to trade the lottery trades, you just trade them with one-dated options if you're going to be trading using Robinhood. If I'm a beginner, is the Trading Zone Live good fit for me? Okay. Every time I get this slide, I tend to spend a lot of time on it, and I'll try to keep it short. If you are a beginner, which means you don't trade, you've never traded before, or you're not familiar with stocks or options, there are 3 things that you're looking at. Number 1, the first thing you need to do is team up with a great mentor. Somebody that can teach you about the markets, teach you how to respect the markets, can help you put together a trading plan, can talk to you about the psychology of trading. And I can't think of anybody much better than Roger for that. So if you've got Roger as your mentor, check that box. If your mentor, in this case Roger, also happens to have an alert service where he's basically feeding you the trades that you should take, he's eliminated the hardest part of trading. I don't care how many years of experience you have. The hardest part is what should I trade, where should I get in, and when should I get out, and what kind of confirmations exist there. Well, Roger's doing that for you, okay? His 30 plus years of experience and Matt together, you're getting that professional analysis. So that's the hardest part. That leaves the third thing. Once again, if you're just a rank beginner, you have to learn how to enter the trades. You have to learn how to buy a call and buy a put and how to get out of those trades. And that is not difficult. We have a course here that shows you how to do that, and your broker has a ton of information on that. So, for those reasons, I think this is a great way to go. You're trading one ticker. You don't have to look at a bunch of stocks, one ticker. It's the SPY. You're going to be trading zero dated or one dated options. Not a lot of mystery about where you're going to get in and expiration and how far out do I want it. None of those things. Very straightforward. It's structured, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And it has the potential to give you 3 to 5 trades on any given day. And from that perspective, that's plenty of opportunity for you to generate some incremental income once you get comfortable with it. The last thing I'll say to you folks, if you are a beginner and you get into this program, before you risk a penny of real money, get with your broker, have them set up a simulated account, and take the first month. Just take the first month. Take every alert that Roger sends to you. Learn how to enter the trade and build your own confidence. Prove to yourself that you know how to enter and exit these trades, okay? And guess what? Along the way, you're going to be building your own track record, wins and losses. And that's the only track record that matters, is yours. Not mine, not Roger's, not Omar's, not Richard's. None of them matter. Yours is the only one. I think if you do those things, okay, you'll be in an excellent position after that month to get ready and to have the confidence to start risking real capital. I said I'd keep it short and I violated that. I'm sorry. I'm just passionate that people, if you're beginning, you need to get started the right way. Don't have bad habits. Don't get bad habits. Do I need a $25,000 account for this? Okay, this question is asked all the time. Yes, this is active day trading. And if you want to trade a margin account, the $25,000 pattern day trading rule only applies if you're trading on margin. Okay, so if you want to day trade every day in a margin account, you have to have at least $25,000 in there. Now, if you want to trade a margin account but you don't have 25,000, you can do 3 day trades in any given consecutive 5 day period. So like from Monday to Friday, you could do 3 day trades there. If you did all of them on Monday and Tuesday, then you couldn't day trade Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if you have less than 25 and you're in a margin account, you can do 3 day trades in a 5 day period. So what if you want to get around that? There's no pattern day trading rule if you're trading a cash account, margin account, cash account. So you can open up a cash account and you can day trade till the cows come home. The issue with a cash account when you're trading it with options, for example, is that your winnings, let's say it's a Monday and you win 500 bucks and you're sitting there going, well, when will that $500 be in my account? Since it's a cash account, it doesn't show up until Wednesday. It's like the day that you placed the trade plus 24 hours, it then shows up in your account. Okay. So from that standpoint, that's why Roger says some people will open up 2 cash accounts with 2 different brokers. So let's say, for example, on Monday you're with Schwab. You have Schwab and you open up an account with Tasty Trade. So on Monday you trade your Schwab account. On Tuesday you trade Tasty Trade. On Wednesday you do Schwab. On Thursday Tasty Trade. Friday with Schwab. I think you get the picture here. But you can do all this in a cash account. And then the third option that he mentioned is that on this program, since it's focused on trading the SPY, right? You can also look at trading futures on the SPY. And that's where futures trading comes into it. And Roger mentioned a couple of financial products there. One's called the E-mini S&P, and the other one's called the micro E-mini S&P. And once again, in this area, folks, this is where Google is your friend. If you're not familiar with futures day trading or trading the E-mini S&P or the micro, Google it. There's so much information out there, you'll learn about it. But here's the point. The SPY and the E-mini S&P and the micro E-mini S&P, they move tick for tick the same because one's a derivative of the other. So from that perspective, when Matt puts out a signal that says go long, on the SPY, what you would be doing if you're trading a future is just enter at market right there. It's, the spreads are minuscule. You get filled instantaneously. And when he says get out, you just exit the trade. And it's another way of trading. So since the focus is on the SPY, you can trade the option, in AlphaZone Pro in a margin account. You can open and do it in a cash account, or you can go with the futures. So enough about that. Is there any sort of guarantee? Yeah, we have a 14-day guarantee here. This is a pretty, this is a premium offering. A lot went into developing this. And as I mentioned earlier, if nothing else, Roger always undercommits and over delivers. That's his nature. And so, despite our best efforts, to make this a fantastic program for you, we know that it might not be for everyone. So, you have 14 days to take full advantage of this program, whether you buy the 1 year, the 2 year, or the lifetime. Okay. And if during those 14 days, for whatever reason, you want your money back because it's just not working for you, call us and we'll refund every penny of your investment. Some people call us and say, I'm not I'm not sure I'm cut out for this day trading, but I'd like to know, do you have a swing trading course that might be better for me? Well, yeah, you can apply that money as a credit towards that cost, that new course. But that's your call. You get your money back, or you can keep that credit and apply it towards something else. We want to make sure that you're delighted with these products and services and you're not hung with an investment that you're not using. How do you receive the alerts in the Trading Zone Live? It's going to come to you via Telegram. Now, as I told you, it reaches you wherever you are in the world. And if for whatever reason you have a problem with Telegram, well, then this program's not for you because this is the only way that you're going to get the alerts, point blank. Do you get more than just alerts? Yeah. Yeah, because as Roger has shown you, when he showed you some screenshots here, when you get this private Telegram channel, it's kind of like since Roger and Matt are watching the SPY all day long, anytime that they see something that you need to know, they're going to take a screenshot and they're going to put it in the SPY. For example, today, Matt would say something like, hey, I like the way things are setting up. We're going long on the SPY. I got filled here. Then his next message would be, well, things are going against us a little bit here, but I like that the fact that the volt is still pointing up, and let's hang on to this trade. And then you see a snapshot of the volt. And then he gave you another little update there. And then he said, hey, let's get out. And we got a profit. That was about a 2 hour trade, if I'm not mistaken. But these are examples of the kind of information that you get in your Telegram channel. Because you remember, this is a program that's designed to have you be a confident and consistent day trader of the SPY. So not only do you get the alerts, you're going to get relative market information as soon as Roger and Matt see something that you need to know about. I also like the fact that they give you a heads up that a trade might be occurring. So, for example, earlier today, as the market was opening and we were waiting to see what Jerome Powell was going to say, we were kind of like in this wait and see mode. But then as things started to set up, we got a heads up that, hey, if we see a divergence at this point in time, get ready to place the trade. Well, that's an example of something that would come in the Telegram service for you. We also have customer support live. It's open 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, so 15 hours a week. You can come in at any point in time between 10 and 1 o'clock and ask questions, any questions that you have. It doesn't matter, even if you think it's a silly question, as long as you have a question in your mind about how to use our products and services, this is a great place to go because Cam and Gustavo understand our products so well. They also happen to be traders, so they know where you're coming from, and they only have one objective, and that's to make sure that you are 100% comfortable and confident in the investment that you've made in our products and services. That's what they do. And I'm not aware of too many companies that provide this level of resource behind this kind of live customer support. And it's a fantastic service. Roger calls it the Cam and Gustavo show. And they just do a wonderful job. But anyway, that's what Customer Live is about. So once again, 1995 instant access. Whew, that was my summary, folks. So let me go back into the chat panel and see if there's some questions that popped up. Copy of the replay. Absolutely, be glad to do that. I just meant, do I have a strategy as a Telegram? Telegram channel? Yeah, Telegram. Let's see. I have some. Okay. All right. Is okay. So who is this? Kendall says, is there one place where these trades are centralized? Well, once again, it's going to come to you in your Telegram channel. So it's there in the feed. And I know that with Telegram, you can download that if you want to or whatnot, but the trades are there in the Telegram feed. Okay, take care. Roger, how's okay? Not this week. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, so a question that came up here from several people, they were going like, how quickly do I have to do I have to get into how quickly do I have to get into a trade? And I'm just putting this here, guys. Here's the live Telegram channel here. And you can see here where Roger said, what was this, at 12:58? I'm guessing that's Central. Is that East? Is that I don't know what that, I don't know if it's East. I'm in Austin, Texas, so I'm Central Time. But anyway, Roger says I got filled at 6:54.84. So in this case, you would be looking for the 6:46 strike. So let's say this alert came out and I don't know, you were doing something in the other room and you came back and you go, oh, wait a minute, there's an alert here. And you could look at it. Well, you can see where Roger got filled, and then you can go ahead and you can bring up, your option chain, and if pricing is still right there around, 646, you're in great shape. But if it's already moved significantly, you may have missed the bus. So don't chase it. Okay, folks, just don't chase it. Wait for the next trade. But as he said, it's kind of hard. I asked the question, Roger, is there any grace with this? And he's going like, it really kind of depends. Sometimes these are fast moving. We don't know. We just know that a divergence has occurred. There's an opportunity to get in. And if things move quickly, and if you're not in a position to jump on it, well, don't chase it, or you make the decision for yourself. Okay, as to, you might go, well, it's moved, but it's not too bad. I think I'll jump in here and go for it. Some people, you might go in there and let's say, for example, it's a long entry and the volt is still going up. You might get a better fill. Maybe prices moved against you a little bit and you get a better fill and you're going to make more money on it. That's a decision that you need to make, but you're always going to know what the fill was. And then you can decide for yourself what to do with it. Ba, 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 ba. Let me see. Can you also talk again about the different programs? Are the lottery trades using just calls? So let's see, Char, you've got several questions here. That is a good question. I know that Roger had basically said that they use they're not specific. They basically, if there's a great short opportunity, they'll take it, or if there's a great long opportunity. I would say this, you may want to just send him an email directly on that. I would hate to give you some wrong information, but my inclination is that if Matt sees an awesome short entry, he might buy a put. On the other hand, he might say, no, 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 Raleigh, I'm just looking for calls. So my correct answer is I don't know. I don't know. But I know that on the normal lottery zone live trades, that if it's a terrific looking move to the short side, you'll be buying a put as opposed to buying a call. What are the different programs for? So Alpha Pro Zone. Okay, so here's the way to look at it. Alpha Pro Zone is a trading platform. Okay. And that's the platform that Roger uses to identify the alerts that he gives you in the Alpha Zone Pro. Okay, the Trading Zone Pro. So the Alpha Zone Pro is the platform that he uses to identify these trades, and Trading Zone Pro is the alert service that's associated with that. Okay. The money flow indicator, or if you will, the market internals dashboard, that comes with either one of those programs, especially if you get lifetime. Do we have a different expiration date? Does Roger use different in the morning versus the afternoon? Well, once again, Char, those are questions that might be better off posted directly to Roger. But here's what I can say based on other people asking him that question. Roger typically, when day trading the markets, he likes to trade one dated options. Okay. Matt, on the other hand, likes to trade zero dated options. Okay. And so that's just two different approaches to how you trade. Roger likes to have a little extra leeway in the event that he gets a trade and maybe he decides he might want to hold it overnight and get out the next day so it doesn't automatically expire on him. And that's a call that he makes. If you go with a one dated option, you're going to pay a little bit more for it. If you go with a zero dated option, you're going to pay a little bit less. But what I would do is that the next time you're in the VIP room, why don't you bring that up directly to him? Or for everyone that's here in the room, once again, I'm just careful. I don't want to misrepresent Roger, but I'm telling you what I've heard him say about this in the past. There's Roger's email address, folks. And Roger monitors this email ad. Now, don't send him questions about, hey, Roger, can I get a special price on this? Or he doesn't do any of that. That's all handled by our customer care team. But if you have a specific question about a strategy or a trade or something he talks about, he's great at that. And he'll get back to you very quickly with an answer. So Mike says, does it work on puts? Yes. So in other words, you're either going to buy a call or buy a put. It just all gets back to what is the divergence. Is it a bullish divergence, which means you'll be going long, or is it a bearish divergence? And what we mean by that is that the cash flow indicator of the VOLT is selling off and the SPY is still like this, then you would be buying a put in that particular case to take advantage of the fact that money is going out of the S&P 500. So yeah, these are equal opportunity trades. As you know, we just let the VOLT and the SPY and that divergence, whether it's bullish or bearish, tell us what to do, and that gives us everything that we need. So. Once again, folks, I'd like to thank you so much for coming today. Roger and I and Matt know that your time is valuable, and we certainly hope that you've gotten good benefit out of the time that you have spent with us. I certainly have enjoyed. This is my second week as Roger's wingman, and I will be his wingman going forward for probably virtually any webinar that he gives. And I'm glad to be here, and I'm also glad to get to know each and every one of you a little bit better. And as my proficiency builds in the application of Roger's programs and strategies and indicators and things of that nature, I'll be able to be more help to you than I currently am. But with that, folks, I wish you all a fantastic afternoon. For those of you that are still looking for some trades, be careful, stick to your plan. Otherwise, I hope you look forward to a wonderful weekend with friends and family, and let's come back ready to get it next Monday. I look forward to seeing you in the VIP room. I am going to save the chat now so that I have your email addresses, and I'm going to wish you a great day. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.